would like to take advantage of us, of the artistic.
Judge, can you make me co-host?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll watch for him, Mr. Killwald, as soon as he comes on, okay?
Okay, all right, I'm gonna just stop my video and microphone.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Does anyone, is Wagenka, do they work for the city? Is that
He does.
you're muted, Mr.
That's
Greco.
correct. That's one of our building inspectors.
That's what I thought. Okay. I never get that right.
I think he's here for the, what is it, Bajari Investments? At least that one,
Well, actually, he's here on stateside investment, the first one.
stateside.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then Tom Schick is going to be logging in, I believe, Michelle,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
the city.
And then we have the attorney for CK Property Council. Is it Shay too?
Yeah, yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I'm the clerk. That's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good
No,
morning.
no, you're all good. Do you need to speak with Mr. Greco?
I think so.
Yeah, yes, we do. So Michelle, if I click on him,
If you look at him and see where it says assign to,
yeah.
you
and
can
I-
put him into your whatever room you want,
Yeah, into my meeting room.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
and then you can join it.
All right, perfect.
Welcome back, Miss Greer.
Thank you.
Look at you're a pro already.
Is it me? You talking to me? Or the attorney? I don't know.
Yeah.
I missed it two times trying to figure out how to do this Zoom.
You're all good, Miss Simmons. It'll be just a second.
Okay.
Ms. Greer, were you ready with Mr. Wesley?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm ready.
This is 2107840M. This is City of Romulus versus Deshaun Raymond Wesley. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city.
And good morning, Your Honor. Sharon Greer appearing on behalf of Mr. Deshaun Wesley, who is on the Zoom as well.
Mr. Wesley, state your name for me, please, sir.
Deshaun Raymond Wesley.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the show cause arraignment and pre-trial. Ms. Greer, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Wesley.
Yes, I have, Your Honor. And at this
And
time,
how-
I'm sorry.
You're fine. I was asking how we were going to proceed, but you were already there.
He's going to accept the offer today and plead guilty to malicious use of a common carrier, and the other two charges would be dismissed.
Mr. Wesley, raise your right hand for me, please, sir.
Say
Mr.
it again.
Wesley,
Yes, ma'am.
raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. You had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Ms. Greer,
Yes, ma'am.
along with the offer from the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, is it your desire this morning to plead guilty to count 3 malicious use of commercial carrier?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if the court accepts your plea in this matter this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wesley, is it true that on September 1st, 2021, in the city of Romulus, that you did maliciously use a service provided by a communications common carrier with intent to terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or annoy another person.
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Greer?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Wesley, the court accepts your plea of guilty to count 3, malicious use of common carrier. Counts 1, harassment. Count 2, threats are dismissed in keeping with the agreement reached with the prosecutor. Ms. Greer, any comments before fines and costs are imposed on your client?
Mr. Wesley has indicated that he's been in the Wayne County Jail for 7 months, and he has, his sentence was for 1 year in the jail. He's asking the court if you would consider the time served on that without imposing additional costs and fees to him.
Any objection, Mr. Greco, to time served in this
Uh,
matter?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Wesley, the court will give you credit for 90 days served and will close this file.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Wesley, that concludes your matter with this court. Good luck to you on your other matters.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll sign in again in about an hour or so.
Thank you much, sir.
Mr. Greco, are you going to go take care of that attorney?
Yes, I was going to ask the court, Your Honor, like, for example, with Mr. Wesley, when he first logged on, and Ms. Greer logged on, they had indicated they were going to accept my offer, which I know what it is. Do you want me to stay on for the plea and the sentence, or is it okay or do you mind if I go over to the rooms and handle some other stuff?
I don't mind if you go into another room. I have a printed copy of your plea offer, so as long as Ms. Greer recites it the same, it doesn't matter to me.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Mosley.
Good morning. How you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Michelle, was Mr. Mosley speaking with Ms. Greer, or had you had a chance to speak to him yet?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. That didn't work. Mr. Mosley, good morning. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
My attorney, Mr.
Do you have an attorney?
Yeah, Mr. Haysha should be here shortly.
Okay, I see him.
Okay.
We didn't know you had one. Okay, thank you. And I think the plea on Simmons is ready, Judge.
Brenda Simmons,
Yes, yes, Judge.
this is 2109040D. This is City of Romulus versus Brenda Simmons. Ma'am, state your name for the record, please.
Brenda Simmons. Brenda Joyce Simmons. It says
Thank you,
starting-
ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Simmons, you're before the court today for arraignment and pretrial.
Your Honor, as to the charges, we will stand mute and waive the formal reading of the charges. We ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Ms. Simmons. And we're going to ask the court for an additional pretrial date so that we can obtain discovery.
We can
Ms. Greer,
adjourn.
there's
I'm
a
sorry.
recommendation from the Romulus Police Department that Ms. Simmons' bond be set at 10,000, 10%. Any argument as to bond in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking the court if you would consider not imposing a cash bond, but if the court deems Ms. Simmons to need some type of restrictions, maybe an alcohol tether as opposed to the cash bond. Ms. Simmons,
Yeah.
what's the matter,
Yes.
Ms. Simmons?
I go to church. I really don't want to have to wear a tether to church. Lord have mercy. $10,000. That's $1,000 bond.
Yes. Your Honor, Ms. Simmons is a mature woman, and as she's indicated, she does go to church. We do believe that this was an isolated incident of her not really understanding maybe the severity of the situation. So I am going to ask that you would consider maybe her going to, she's indicated that she's in some type of treatment now. Maybe she could do some, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not saying anything.
She's in treatment now, and maybe we could impose that she attend some AA meetings in addition to that until we're able to come back. She's not driving at this point, Your Honor.
Ms. Simmons, the court is going to set your bond at 10,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at all future court dates. The condition of your bond is that you not purchase, possess, or consume any alcoholic beverages while this case is pending. Do you understand?
Yes.
And the adjourned pretrial date will be?
April 7th at 9:50 in front of Judge Green.
Ms. Simmons, you return on April 7th, 2022 at 9:50 a.m. That will be virtual courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Ms.
Am I?
Simmons,
Yes.
we're all set. You're free to log off. Your next court date's April 7th.
Ma'am, yeah, am I gonna have the same reference number that I used today?
No, ma'am, it'll be a different number. It will be on the notice that the court sends out to you.
Oh, okay, you're gonna send me a code. And it's April the,
Yes, ma'am.
April the 7th?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, 1 second, I need to write that down anyway.
Ms. Simmons, you don't have to write it down. There's a notice coming in the mail to you.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, can I speak with anybody while I'm waiting on that?
Speak with whom?
Was Ms. Greer's not going to be my attorney, so who would I be talking with?
Ms. Greer will be assigned to your case, Ms. Simmons.
Okay, all right. And Ms. Greer, your phone number is to call you. What's your phone number?
I'll be in touch with you, Ms. Simmons, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day, ma'am.
You too.
Katie Rochelle. Katie Rochelle.
Yeah.
Good morning. Yes.
And then, hold on 1 second.
There you go.
All right.
Good morning, Ms. Rochelle. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put you in the waiting room for Mr. Jadala.
Okay. Thank you.
And Michelle and Your Honor, we're ready to go on the record on CK Property Group LLC.
This is 21R007886OM, City of Romulus versus CK Property Group LLC. May I have your appearances, please?
David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
And Mohammed Shaitu for the defendant.
Your Honor, we're going to adjourn this 30 days. There's a couple of minor items that need to be addressed by the defendant before a CFO is going to be entered or issued. And I suspect that Mr. Shaitu is going to be contacting me well before the next court date to see if it's resolved.
That's correct.
That new date will be
April 7th at 9:50.
April 7th at 9:50 a.m. That's courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Chato?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks, thanks, Dave.
All right, take care, Mohammed. And Your Honor, we can go on the record on, we're ready, if the court is ready, on Bajari Investments. Mr. Ruark is here.
For the defendant, Your Honor, Ron Ruark.
This is 21R007894OM, City of Romulus versus Bajari Investments. Your appearances, please.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city.
Ron Ruark for the defendant, Your Honor.
Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this case. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Ruark and also with the building inspector. There are some additional issues that need to be done that Mr. Ruark had indicated that his client is going to be doing. At this point, we'd like to move to adjourn this for 60 days. So again, they can address some issues. I think there's a parking lot issue that needs to be addressed to get the C of O prior to the next court date.
That's correct, Your Honor.
60 days will put us at
We can do May 19th
It's fine.
at 9 a.m. And that's in front of Judge Green.
May 19th at 9 a.m. with Judge Green in virtual courtroom number 3. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Ruark?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
You're so very welcome, sir. Have a good day.
You too, Your Honor. Thanks, Dave.
All right, take care, Ron.
Good morning. Is it
morning, Mr.
Attorney
Vidal.
Hayshaw?
Judge, good morning.
Mr. Hayshaw, you're client Mosley.
I am Judge.
I'm the clerk, but that's okay.
I'm
No, that's okay. Mr. Hayshaw, do you need to speak with your client or with the prosecutor?
prosecutor, if I can, please.
Okay. Judge,
Thank
can you make Mr. Jadala a co-host? It won't let me.
I can probably move Mr. Jadala in my meeting room. Is that?
No. I need you to move Mr. Hayshaw.
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Hayshaw was like to speak with you.
Sorry.
Oh, Dave, we do some business. Beautiful.
That's right. There we go. Oh, and you know what, Your Honor, or Michelle, we're ready to go on the record on stateside investment. I know Mr. Attorney Michael Holmes has been on, I think, for a little bit.
This is 194909 OM, City of Romulus versus Stateside Investments. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city.
Michael Holmes, Your Honor, on behalf of Stateside.
Jim Morganka on behalf of the City of Romulus Building
Pre-trial in
Department.
this matter, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I've spoken with the attorney and also the planning department and Mr. Wajenka, who's also on online here from the building department. We're going to adjourn 60 days again to address some issues with regard to some planning issues that need to be addressed before a C of O is going to be entered. And I think we've been working together very well. My understanding, Mr. Holmes and the client with the staff to get this done.
That puts us back on that May 19th date, 2022. At which time, Michelle?
We can do 9 a.m. again.
9 a.m. That's in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Holmes?
No, thank you, Your Honor, and thank you
Thank
to
you.
the city.
Good morning, Mr. Waginka.
Morning.
I think.
Go ahead, Mr. Greco. You can go and talk to Mr.
Yep. Okay.
Your Honor, we were ready on Rochelle and Bowman whenever the court was ready.
Give me one quick second.
Take your time.
You have one job to do.
Miss Greer, I see Miss Simmons is trying to come back in.
Fine.
Are we letting Miss Simmons back in?
Would you like to speak
Why
with her
is Ms.
again?
Simmons coming back?
I just see she's in our waiting room again.
Can you put her,
Mr.
can you
J-
put her in my
I
waiting?
can.
room? Thank you
I
so
can.
Mr.
much.
Jadala, I got distracted by baby news. Were you ready with Bowman?
Bowman, yes, Your Honor. Bowman and Rochelle are together on Zoom, and they're both have files before you, Your Honor.
This is, this is 220129OM. This is City of Romulus versus Katie Rochelle.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Ms. Rochelle. At this time, Your Honor, we respectfully requesting, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute. Respectfully request a pretrial to get some discovery on this matter.
Ms. Rochelle, state your name for the record, ma'am.
Katie Rochelle.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, there is a recommendation from Romulus Police that Ms. Rochelle's bond be set at 10%, and that she have no contact with the victim in this case. Your response to that recommendation, sir?
But I don't believe she has any priors. We're just going to respect the request that this matter be a personal bond. She's been here, she's appeared, and she's here ready to fight these charges, Your Honor. I've explained to her what her rights are. She understands, and she will abide by all orders, Your Honor, in return. We respectfully request if you'd consider a personal bond.
Ms. Rochelle, your bond's going to be set at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is return to all future court dates. Condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the complaining victim in this case. Understood?
Understood.
No contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through third parties, no contact through social media. Should you make efforts to contact the victim, the court could view that as a violation of the terms of your bond, revoke your bond, and you can spend the remainder of this case in custody. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Adjourn pretrial date. Will that be the April 7th date, Michelle?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
At which time?
We can do at 10:20. Oh, there's two of them. Let's do 10:40. Sorry.
10:40 a.m.
Yep.
And number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else for this case, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further.
Anything? Oh, Mr. Greco's back. And then the companion 220130, City of Romulus versus Daniel Bowman.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186. Also on Mr. Bowman, Your Honor, we're going to respectfully request that we waive formal reading and stand mute and set this matter also for a pretrial to get discovery.
Put your video on.
Mr. Bowman, state your name for me, please.
Daniel Bowman.
Jadala, there's the same recommendation that Mr. Bowman's bond be set at 10%, and he have no contact with the complaining victim.
Your Honor, we have no objections with the no contact order. Mr. Bowman is there, Your Honor, with his guardian. From what I understand, Your Honor, he has no priors. Also, we're going to respectfully request a personal bond. He will appear as ordered to all future court dates.
Thank you. Mr. Bowman, the court will set your bond at 5,000 personal. The only condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the complainant in this case. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Make a notation in the file, Mr. Jadala, that you're requesting discovery in this case. Like the previous case, this case will be adjourned. Pretrial will be adjourned to April the 7th, 2022 at 10:40 a.m. in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Bowman, Ms. Rochelle, we're all set April 7th with Judge Green, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're so very welcome. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you. Radio Mosley.
We are ready on Mosley.
2-RP-00188B. This is City of Romulus versus James Terrell Mosley. Appearances.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
And Judge, good morning to you and your staff. Vincent Haysha, P76506, appearing with and on behalf of Mr. James Mosley, who's present via Zoom with no objection to waiving his physical presence in the courtroom today.
Mr. Mosley, state your name for the record, please.
James Mosley, Your Honor.
Mr. Haysha, have you submitted an appearance to the court?
Judge, I believe so, but if there's not, I'll correct that today.
I'd appreciate that.
Of course.
How are we proceeding for purposes of the show cause and arraignment, Mr. Haysha?
Judge, ask you to set aside the show cause, ask arraignment on that and arraignment in general. Waive formal reading, stand Mr. Mosley mute.
And for the pretrial?
Your Honor, we've come up with a resolution to the matter. The resolution is as presented to the court that we're going to, Mr. Mosley is going to plead responsible to illegal transportation of a firearm in a vehicle pursuant to ordinance section 36-357C, which is the City of Romulus ordinance, and with a $100 fine as set forth in the ordinance, and dismiss the misdemeanor charge. The ordinance provides for both a misdemeanor and a civil infraction, and we're amending it to the civil infraction side of that particular ordinance that he's been charged with.
All correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Mosley, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. You've had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Haysha,
Yes, ma'am.
and you understand the plea offer being made by the prosecutor in this case.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea of responsible to the illegal transportation of firearm in the vehicle civil infraction, that you won't have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You won't have the opportunity to call witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry, plead responsible.
No, ma'am.
Sir, is it true that on January 21st, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you transported a firearm in a vehicle contrary to local ordinance?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Haysha. Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Haysha?
I am so satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Mosley, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the civil infraction of transporting illegal transportation of a firearm in a vehicle. We'll dismiss the misdemeanor firearms transported in vehicle. The parties have already agreed to a fine of $100 in this matter. There is the show cause fee of $50, which remains due and owing to the court. That's $150. Mr. Mosley, can you pay that amount within the next 5 days?
Ma'am.
You say
I believe
yes,
you
ma'am?
said-
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mosley, you'll be able to go online and make that payment. You can bring it physically to the courthouse, or you can mail it into the court, so long as we receive it within 5 days. Anything else? Mr.
Not on behalf
Greco?
of Your Honor.
Nothing, Your Honor, for the city.
Thank you. Mr. Mosley, we're all set, sir. Good luck to you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a good day as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Greco. Thank you, Your Honor.
Take care, Vince.
Take care, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Is it Gardano? You've done mute, sir. Just hit your little microphone.
Unmute.
There
Can you
you
hear me
go.
now?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Gardano, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney this morning?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to put you in the breakout room for Miss Greer.
Miss who?
Miss Greer,
Okay, that's the attorney I'm gonna talk to?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Miss Greer is in your meeting room.
Okay, thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
going now.
The person who just joined with the iPhone, can I have your name, please?
Yeah, sorry, it's me. I don't know how to change it on the phone.
I will fix it for you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Michelle, he's just trying to sneak into our courtroom, I think.
I am.
Mr. Nunley, what can I do for you? What are you here for today?
Chubb, final pretrial.
How about a case name?
Yep, Romulus versus Brian Chubb.
I gotcha. And we're expecting Mr. Chubb?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Chubb's a little late.
And good morning, Mr. Nolan.
Good morning. Sorry for the delay.
No, you're okay. And I need to apologize because I inadvertently didn't make you a breakout room.
Oh, it's all good.
And that wasn't, I'm sorry.
Wait,
A new procedure and
Mr. Nolan owes us apologies in pictures, I believe.
Oh, the baby?
You were conspicuous in your absence on the last docket.
Yeah, I apologize for that. He came earlier than expected. So threw me for a loop and I scrambled to get coverage at the last second. So I hope that docket went all right.
It was fine. How's everybody in your household?
We're good. Sleep deprived, but good. So it's been fun.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Mr. Nunley, Mr. Chubb is present now. Do you need a breakout room with him?
Well, this was a final pretrial where the victim must appear. Do we know if the victim has appeared in this one?
Do we know victim name?
I don't have it. And
Kathleen Chubb.
Yeah, Kathleen Chubb.
Your Honor, Michelle, I think I should go into a breakout room with Mr. Nunley. Just because it looks like there's two different cases here. One is on a final pretrial, one's set for a regular pretrial. So.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Go ahead, you can move Mr. Nunley.
Yep, okay.
And then good morning, Mr. Is it Zambak? Jason Zambak?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? Jason Zambak?
I can, Mr. Zambak. What time was your case set for today? Oh, I see you. At 9:30. Mr. Zambak, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney this morning?
Sure. Is Tom Schick there also?
He is.
Okay, yeah, I would like to speak with him.
But I request being moved to that breakout room as well. This is Carol Mays from City Romulus.
Well, if I put him in with the MIDC attorney, I think I have to let him speak with the attorney first and then.
Okay, perfect.
Well, I
Just wanted to let you guys know I was here with Tom.
Wait, one at a time, please. Mr. Zambak, do you want to speak with the city planner and Mr. Schick?
Yes, I'd like to speak to them first, yes.
Okay, let me see if Mr. Schick is still here. Yeah, he
Yes,
is.
I am.
Okay, okay, hold on.
Ms. Greer, are we ready with Mr. Woodano?
I call him Mr. G, and yes, Judge, we're ready.
Yes.
This is 2201260D, City of Romulus versus Ramiro Guadano.
Yeah, hello. Yes, Judge.
Hold on.
I'm here.
Hold on, Mr. Guardano.
Okay.
I was waiting for the Romulus prosecutor, but Sharon Greer appeared on behalf of Mr. Guardano. Your Honor, this is the arraignment pre-trial. And Mr. Guardano would waive the formal reading and stand mute to those charges today. Ask the court to enter a not guilty plea. And he has agreed to accept the offer from the prosecutor of pleading guilty to impaired driving and failure to report the accident. And the failure to stop at the accident would be dismissed, as well as reckless driving would be dismissed, and open toxins in the car would be dismissed.
Sir, would you state your name for the record, please?
Ramiro Guadiana.
Sir, raise your right hand for me.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you swear affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You put your hand down. You had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Ms. Greer,
Yes, ma'am.
along with the plea offered from the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's your understanding that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to operating while impaired and failing to report an accident.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, I understand.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I understand.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, is it true that on December 23rd, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you operated a vehicle while you were impaired by some intoxicant?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, is it also true that on that December 23rd, 2021, the city of Romulus, you failed to report an accident?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Ms. Greer?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guadano, the court accepts your plea of guilty to operating while impaired along with failing to report an accident. The next step in these proceedings is that your case will be referred to the probation department for interview and the scheduling of a sentence date.
Okay. Okay, Judge.
Sir, I'm looking for a phone number in the file. Give me 1 second. We need an email and a phone number for you, sir. I don't know that you necessarily want to put it on YouTube. These cases are being streamed. I'm just flipping through to see if we have a phone number. I don't see one, Michelle. Ms. Greer, do you have that information that you can send by chat to Michelle?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to have you go back into the breakout room. Ms. Greer will get your phone number and email address. The probation department will be reaching out to you. There'll be forms for you to complete, as well as scheduling of an interview that will be conducted by Zoom, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else in this matter, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Go back into the breakout room so she can get that information from you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Cardano, you can just go touch your breakout room and you can rejoin it because you were already in there.
I don't know how to touch it or
Do you see it?
no. Breakout room.
Let me see.
Ready on Chubb?
Hold on.
Give me 1 sec. I'm looking for it. I just don't know where exactly.
It's okay. Hold on. I'm going to move you and then see if I can fix it. Don't click it right away.
Okay.
Mr. Brown, good morning. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
I'm just here because I didn't know that my license was suspended. And
Yep,
I
you
got,
have a hearing today. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
yes, I can.
Okay, I'll put you in the breakout room for Mr. Jadala.
Thank you. I'm not too for sure how to get
You're
to the
okay. You'll see something pop up in just a minute.
Okay.
Mr. Jadala is in your waiting room.
Thank you. I'm also ready on a Patterson whenever the court's ready.
We're ready.
Just one second, Mr. Jadal. Are you ready on Chubb again, Mr. Nunley?
Yes, we are.
These are 21RP012820M 20RP041740T. And the new case is 220147. These are all City of Romulus versus Brian Chubb. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant for the 2021 case and the 2020 case. I didn't know anything about the new charges that were allegedly picked up. Brother counsel informed me of those. I haven't been assigned to represent him on those new charges. As far as the two old charges, the 2021 case and the 2020 case, this was set for a final pretrial where the victim must appear. I don't believe that the victim has appeared, so we would motion for dismissal of those two charges.
Mr. Chubb, state your name for the record, sir.
Brian Paul Chubb.
Thank you. Mr. Greco, any contact with the complainant in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Your response to Mr. Nunley's motion?
Your Honor, it is set for a final pretrial. I did not handle the previous one, but the victim is not here, so we have no objection at this point.
Matter was scheduled at 9:10 a.m. It's now 9:37 a.m. This court's policy is 15 minutes after the scheduled start time. And as much as the complainant has failed to appear, defense motion to dismiss will be granted. And 21RP01282 and 20RP04174. As for the 2022 case, Mr. Nunley, you indicated you had not been assigned that file as of yet. Had you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Chubb about it?
No, and I'm house counsel for Judge Oakley right now. I was thinking maybe Sam or could talk to him about it since, I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know that it existed.
What we'll do is if you need to get back to Judge Oakley, we'll get Mr. Chubb in with house counsel for today to discuss this new case.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chubb, sit tight. You'll go in with either Mr. Jadala or Ms. Greer shortly, but for right now, we have 220137 OD. This is City of Romulus versus Devon, Terrance, Patterson. Your appearance, please, sir.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Patterson. Your Honor, at this time, we're going to wait for him reading and stand mute. Mr. Patterson understands what he's being charged with, as well as the possible penalties. At this time, Your Honor, he'd like to avail himself to the plea, whereby he'll be pleading to one count of operating while impaired. The other matters are being dismissed pursuant to the plea. He understands the rights he is waiving once again, Your Honor.
Mr. Patterson, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Put your hand down.
Mhm.
You had the opportunity to discuss the case this morning with Mr. Jadala.
Yeah, we have discussed it. Well, we can discuss what really happened, but I understand everything that I'm getting charged with.
And Mr. Patterson, after discussing the case with Mr. Jadala, is your understanding you'd be tendering a plea of guilty to operating while impaired, and that the operating while intoxicated and the interfering with police would be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you won't have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yeah, I made bad choice that day. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Patterson, is it true that on December 22nd, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you operated a vehicle while you were impaired by some intoxicant?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, that affected your ability to control your vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Patterson, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of operating while impaired. The operating while intoxicated, interfering with police will be dismissed. The next step in these proceedings is that the matter will be referred to probation for an interview and sentence recommendation. They are the ones who will schedule your sentencing date back with this court. Sir, we have a phone number for you that ends in 2534. Is that still a good phone number for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jadala, were you able to get Mr. Patterson's email address?
I was not, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay, Mr. Patterson, do you know how to use the chat function on your phone?
That I do not.
Okay. Mr. Patterson, you're going to go briefly back into a breakout room with Mr. Jadala. He'll get your email address and chat it over to the court. The court will need that information because the probation department will be calling you and emailing you to schedule your interview. There'll be forms for you to complete. And they'll, again, interview you and make a sentence recommendation to the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your arraignment date, so there have been no bond. Court's gonna set the bond at 5,000 personal. You're not to purchase, possess, consume alcohol during the pendency of this matter. If there are any other conditions that probation wants to recommend for sentencing, that will be developed during your conversations with them, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
No, Your Honor, I'll gather that information and I'll dismiss Mr. Patterson and provide it to the court.
Thank you so very much, sir. Have a good day. Oh, Mr. Patterson, don't leave. I'm sorry. Go back in with Mr. Jadala.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You
Mhm.
too.
Ms. Greer, I'm going to put Mr. Chubb in. I'm going to put Mr. Grubb in your meeting room, okay? Or Chubb, sorry.
Hello there. Hello.
Hello, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Patterson. I'll move you. I thought Mr. Jadala would move you. Okay. Mr. Patterson, you can rejoin your breakout room. You're already there. Do you know how to do that?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
How do
I'm
I
gonna
do
move you. Don't accept it really quickly. Let me, because I have to move you somewhere else and then move you back, okay? So give
Okay.
me just 1 second.
it? Okay.
Go ahead.
Michelle, you received that information from Mr. Guidano?
I haven't gotten anything. Mr. Patterson, what happened? I put you in there.
Okay. Now what do I push now? I'm sorry.
You came back. You were in there and you jumped out. Go back. Hit your
Okay.
breakout room and go and join it.
Okay. Breakout room. Do I push leave?
No, sir. You're not leaving.
Join the
Okay.
breakout room.
Okay. I'm trying to hit it right now. So sorry. Breakout room.
I'm sorry, I got thrown out of the meeting. I think I was on too long, so I'm back.
We need to, okay. Mr. Zambek, are we ready on your case?
Yes, I'm ready.
This is 21R007887OM. This is City of Romulus versus Jason Zambek. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Mr. Zambek, turn on your video,
Yes, ma'am.
please, and state your name for the record.
Let me find the video. The video is stopped. I'm not seeing this video option on my phone right now. Oh, there it is. Got it.
Thank you, sir. State your name.
Jason Zambek.
Today's the day and time set for the adjourned pre-trial in this matter. We were here back on, looks like January 20th. It was adjourned for compliance. Where do we stand this morning?
My understanding, Your Honor, I've spoken with the city staff that there is still no certificate of occupancy on the property.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
In the breakout room, we did talk to Mr. Zembek, me and Carol Mays, and he says that his papers are being drawn up. He's just waiting to receive them from his planner or his architect or whatever, and that he will be submitting them as soon as he gets them in. So we went ahead and we agreed to a 30-day extension so that he can get that paperwork in. He's also been notified that this will be the last time.
Is that your understanding, Mr. Zambek, that we'll adjourn the matter for one last time?
Yes, ma'am. And as soon as I get the papers, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get them notarized and bring them right down with payment. I'm hoping to be able to do that by next week. And I told the city planners that too.
The adjournment date that we were using was April the 7th. If there's
Judge, we can do April 21st.
April
That's
21st,
30
at what
days.
time?
At 9:20.
Some popped up.
You will return, Mr. Zambek, on April 21st, 2022 at 9:20 a.m. with Judge Green in courtroom number 3. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Zambek?
No, ma'am. And thank you very much for the court's patience and for the city planners and the city ordinance officer's patience. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll get this done
You're
as
so
soon as
welcome.
possible.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're all set, Mr. Zambek.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay,
Miss
Good morning, Mr.
Bryant?
Robinson.
Sandra Bryant?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning. Miss
Good
Bryant?
morning. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm great.
Miss Bryant, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
No, I'm waiting on my attorney she just text me for the
Who is your attorney?
Attorney Alexandra Taylor.
Okay. We don't have an appearance from her.
Yeah, she just texted me, so she should be on shortly.
Okay. So go ahead and mute yourself and we'll let you know. You'll see when she arrives.
Okay.
And then, good morning, Mr. Robinson. I have you checked in. You need to speak with an in-house attorney. That's okay. You're muted. Do you know how to hit the microphone? Is there someone there? There you go. I'll put you in with the, hold on a second.
I don't know. I'm talking to my, but I don't know. I don't know right now. This one I have.
I'll put you in with Mr. Jadala.
I don't know what that does. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. I don't know. Yes.
And then good morning, Miss, is it Deacati? You're muted.
Yeah, I do it back.
Good morning. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
I know.
Was that yes?
No.
No.
Judge, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have a DeQuinn Brown that I'm talking to, and I don't see him on my docket anywhere.
Brown?
Correct. You said it was scheduled at
Yeah.
10:30 or 10:40?
20.
It's scheduled at 10:40. I'm sorry, no, wait, 10:20. DeQuinn or Darren?
DeQuinn Brown is who I have in the breakout room.
DeQuinn Brown is scheduled at 10:20 a.m.
I'm sorry, for some reason on the docket that I have, I don't see him and I don't know. Is it a Romulus case?
It is a Belleville case.
That's why I don't have it. I only have the Romulus docket. I'm sorry. Do you know if there's an offer, Judge? Do you have an offer in front of you?
I have an undated, so I'm hoping that it's still accurate. Mr. Nolan's here. It's allowing unlicensed driver.
Okay.
Mr. Nolan, is that still a good offer on DeQuinn Brown?
Yes. Samir, will you be
Thank
handling, are you the only MIDC attorney for the rest of the docket? I can send you all the pleas.
I believe it's both me and Sharon. We're going to be here until the docket's done.
Okay, I'll send it to you both.
Thank you.
Yep.
Judge, can I ask
Ryan,
you a
your
question?
attorney's here. We'll get, yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. On Mr.
I'm sorry for
Chubbs,
interrupting you.
for Mr. Chubbs, he's indicating that some of his charges are being handled or have been resolved, and he's at this point in time, some of them are not pending anymore.
Correct. His sole case is the 220147 from December
Okay.
25th that he is here for arraignment and pretrial. The other two are
Gotcha,
dismissed
Judge.
with Mr. Jadal. I'm sorry, Mr. Nunley.
Okay. Okay. 220147 has 2 charges, and those are the only ones we're dealing with today. Gotcha.
Correct, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. I'm going back into the room with him.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
These are 22BL00094 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Naduba Diak.
Diakai.
Thank you so very much. Ma'am, today is the day and time set for your arraignment and pretrial. It's alleged that on February 11, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. It's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, fines of up to $500 plus court costs. On that same day, you were also issued a civil infraction for an equipment violation. Window 10, I believe, is the issue. There's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that the driving while license suspended and the civil infraction would be dismissed. Did you wish to accept the offer from the prosecutor or proceed in a different fashion?
Yeah.
Yes, which one?
Oh, the second one.
I'm sorry?
Well, it's like the second one first. Can you tell me that
What was the second one?
Yeah, the second one.
You're going to proceed in a different fashion.
Hello.
Ma'am?
Hello.
Yeah.
You're saying you want to proceed in a different fashion. How would you like to proceed?
Wait, I'm like really confused about the offer. Like the first one was like all about what was the first one first?
The offer is to plead guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, the driving while license suspended, and the window tint ticket would be dismissed.
Oh no. Is it
Ma'am, it might be beneficial to you to speak to the court-appointed attorney. We have two here this morning, and they can explain the offer to you along with the charges, okay?
Okay, I get it.
Okay. When one of them is available, you'll see an invitation to join them in the breakout room, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Jadala.
Your Honor, already on Mr. Brown.
Hi,
Thank
how you doing
sir.
today?
This is I'm good, 22BL00106OT. This is City of Belleville versus Daquan Brown. Appearances,
Yes.
please.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brown. Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Brown would like to avail himself to the plea to one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
Mr. Brown, state your name for me, please.
My name is Daquan Armand Brown.
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I will.
Mr. Brown, you had the you can put your hand down, sir. You had the opportunity to discuss your case with Mr. Jadala this morning,
Yes, I did.
and it's your understanding that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Sir, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine any witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
No. Yes. No, I don't know how to answer that one.
You have to answer it for us to proceed. Are
Okay.
you pleading guilty?
Can you repeat it?
Because you are in fact guilty?
Yeah.
Mr. Brown, is it true that on February 15, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. The driving while license suspended will be dismissed. The court will impose fines and costs as follows. It's a $100 fine, $100 in costs. There's $75 crime victims fee, a $50 mandatory state cost, and $20 fund fee. That's $345. So are you able to pay that amount within the next 5 days?
Yes. Question, is it a payment plan available for that?
There is, sir, but that would make your case be on a different track. If you need a payment plan for the 345, we have somebody available that you can speak to this morning to establish the payment plan. So are you able to pay in 5 days, or are you looking for a payment plan?
I would prefer to go down the payment plan route.
You're going to see an invitation to join the collections department in a breakout room. Go
Okay.
there, speak to that person. They'll put you on a payment plan, okay?
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries. Mr. Nolan, anything else in this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala? I'll take that as a no.
Mr. Robinson, did you speak with the attorney? Wait, where'd he go? Maybe Sam grabbed him. Good morning, Mr. Brown, Renardo Brown. Good morning. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney this morning, Mr. Brown?
Yeah.
Michelle, I'm pulling in Ms. Bryant's attorney. I see her here.
Okay.
And I know there are two files. I don't know why they're not traveling together or if there's a global resolution available.
Okay, I'll try to find. Oh, Renardo Brown has Mr. Batar.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown, have you
Taylor?
spoke to him?
No, I haven't spoke to him yet today. No.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, Judge.
That's okay. Ms. Taylor, do you need to speak to your client this morning?
No, I don't. Are we just a pretrial today? Is that what we're doing?
It's arraignment and pretrial. This is
Okay.
220133 OM, City of Romulus versus Sandria Bryant. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city.
Good morning. Alexandria Taylor appearing on behalf of the defendant, Sandria Bryant. We're appearing via Zoom this morning.
Ms. Bryant, state your name for the record, please, ma'am.
Oh, I know she
Ms.
was.
Bryant? She's here.
Good morning. This is Sandria Bryant.
Thank you. For purposes of arraignment, Ms. Taylor, what say you?
I will stand mute and waive a formal reading.
There is a recommendation from Romulus Police Department that Ms. Bryant's bond be set at 5,000, 10%. Any comment as to bond?
Now, we would ask for a personal bond. As the court knows, there is another matter concerning the same complaining witness. My client has shown up to court every time, and we believe that some of this is just retaliatory because we got a PPO dismissed before Judge Elder in Third Circuit. And so it's no reason to believe that she's a danger to the community, that she won't appear for court. And so we're just asking that she be on a personal bond.
Ms. Bryant's bond will be set at 5,000 personal.
Thank you.
Ms. Bryant, you don't need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at all future court dates. Ms. Taylor, there's an offer from the prosecutor that if your client plead guilty to the malicious destruction of property pursuant to 771.1, sentence will be deferred for a period of 3 months, restitution of $100 to the victim. Would you like the opportunity to discuss this matter with Ms. Bryant, or would you looking for an adjourned pretrial in this matter?
I'm looking for an adjourned pretrial. I have a 10 a.m. matter before Wayne County FOC.
We'll adjourn the
Your Honor,
pretrial to.
would I be able to say something? Your Honor?
No, not right now.
Michelle will give us a new pretrial date.
April 7th at 10:20.
April 7th at 10.
April 7th at 10:20 a.m. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Taylor?
Nothing. Thank you so much.
Good luck with your 10 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Bryant, you may log off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Greco,
Yes.
I sent you a chat. Can you look at it?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Ms. Greer, are you ready, Mr. Chubb?
I am ready.
Say here.
This is 220147 OM. This is the City of Romulus versus Brian Paul Chubb. Your appearances, please.
Sharon Greer, print on behalf of Mr. Chubbs. Mr. Chubb?
Mr. Chubb, state your name for me, please, sir.
Brian Paul Chubb.
Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Ms. Greer, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we would waive the formal reading of the charges and stand mute to those charges and ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Mr. Chubbs. Your Honor, we're asking the court for a pretrial, an additional pretrial date. These charges involve Mr. Chubb's ex-wife, and there were other cases and other charges that were brought by her as well, and she did not show for those hearings. And so we are asking the court if you would, I guess, order that the complaining witness at least communicate with the prosecutor's office to find out if these charges will be going forward. Maybe she could appear by Zoom at the pretrial so that we will know that she wants to proceed with these allegations. And if she's not
Before we
willing
get
to,
to that point, Ms. Greer, Mr. Chubb, is there any reason for you to have communication with Ms. Chubb?
We have children together.
Minor children?
Correct.
The police department did not send over a completed bond recommendation, Ms. Greer, for this matter. The court's going to set the bond in this matter at $5,000 personal. There is an indication on the bond recommendation form that there have been previous runs at the location, including this victim. The court's going to put the condition, no assaultive contact with the complainant in this case.
Well, there's already an active PPO, just let you know.
I understand that, sir, but I like to say these things on the record so that the parties are all on the same page regarding what no assaultive contact means. I understand that the 2 cases were dismissed this morning, but that doesn't necessarily foretell what's going to happen in this case. The pretrial date in this matter will be the 21st, Michelle. Is that where we're on?
We can do either April 7th or April 21st.
April 21st at what time?
9:30.
At 9:30, April 21st in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Greer?
no, Your Honor.
Thank you. We're all set, Mr. Chubb. We'll see you back here on April the 21st, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Your Honor,
everybody.
You swear affirm?
I'm sorry,
You
there
swear
is
affirm the
one
contents of
thing.
the affidavit to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief? Yes. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I'm well.
Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Harris. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put you in their breakout room. Miss Withrow, we have somebody in your waiting room. They've been sitting there.
Ms. Murphy needs to see me?
No, hold on. Everybody else, hold on, please.
Thank you. I will be in there with them.
And Miss Greer, I put Mr. Harris in your meeting room.
Okay, I did want to ask the judge a question before.
Okay.
Absolutely.
On Mr. Chubb's case, are we requiring the complaining witness to appear for that hearing?
For the pretrial?
Yes, since we had a pretrial today that was dismissed because she did not.
We had a pretrial on a unrelated from this court's perspective matter. They had different offense dates. I'm not ordering that Ms. Chubb appear for the April 21st date.
Okay, just for clarification. Thank you, Judge.
Understood, ma'am. Same thing, just.
And good morning, Mr. Rayleigh. Darren Rayleigh.
Yes, I'm here.
Good
Hello?
morning, Mr. Rayleigh. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney this morning?
Is it nice outside?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll put you in the waiting room for Mr. Jadala.
I would like an open window. So much. Take care. Robinson, is that what we're ready on?
Your Honor, we're ready on a few matters, Ms. Diakley and Mr. Jamil Robinson, whenever the court's ready.
This is 20 RP 043000OM. This is the city of Romulus versus Jamil Robinson. May I have your appearances, please?
Jamil Robinson.
Respect for Your Honor, Sam Richardall, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Robinson. Your Honor, at this time, the prosecutor is moving to dismiss this matter.
This matter is dismissed. Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Mr. Robinson seems to think that he also has a traffic matter here at the court, and he's been attempting to do a plea by mail, but has been unable to be successful with that.
Mr. Jadala, I don't have it. I'll need to look for it later. I'll make myself a note. Jamil Robinson, if he submitted the plea by mail, is it his position that he's not received any response from the court?
The thing is, I've been asking and been kiting for my for my proof of incarceration so that I can send my proof of incarceration with my plea by mail. But for some reason, Wayne County for the last month and a half have not gotten back to me or gave me my proof of incarceration. So I was wondering, I mean, I had a paper filled out. I could send it out today, but I mean, I've been trying to get my proof of incarceration and send it along with my my plea by mail, but they've been unsuccessful in getting back with me on giving me my proof of incarceration.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
I misunderstood you. I thought you'd already sent it. Send your plea by mail. You make an indication of when you were incarcerated, even if you don't have the official proof.
Okay.
We have somebody here who can check that and get your plea by mail to the correct person, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further on, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Now we're also ready on Daiki, I believe that's how to say it.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
gonna say recall in Daiki, the city of Belleville versus Daiki. I have your appearances. This is matter scheduled for arraignment pre-trial. Mr. Jadala, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute. Your Honor, at this time, she will plead to one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. She understands the rights that she is waiving by doing so.
Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. You swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Ma'am, you were able to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Jadala?
Oh, yeah.
And you understand that if you tender a plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive this morning, that you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yeah.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Oh, yeah.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
Oh, yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
I'm not.
You're not guilty? Okay. So what do you want us to do? Schedule this matter for trial?
No, I'm good. I play guilty.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Ma'am, you're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Is it true that on February 11, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Is there anything you want to say to the court before fines and costs are imposed?
Nothing.
Ma'am, the court is going to impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's crime victims fee of $75, mandatory state cost of $50, and a fund fee of $20. That's $345. Are you able to pay that amount within 5 days, or do you need more time?
Yeah, like 10 days.
Ma'am, I'm going to send you into the breakout room. You'll set your payment plan with the collections department, okay?
Okay.
You'll
Thank
see an
you.
invitation to join them.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Geis.
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. Were you looking to speak to the court-appointed attorney, or did I miss you going into a breakout room with them already?
No, I'm just gonna plead not guilty and move on.
This is 22BL001010M. This is City of Belleville versus Gregory Geis. Again, sir, state your name for the record for me, please.
Gregory John Geisy Jr.
Geisy, thank you, sir. Today's the day and time set for your arraignment. And sir, were you were looking to proceed on your own and not use the court-appointed attorney who's available this morning?
Yes, that's correct.
Sir, for purposes of arraignment, it's alleged that on February 11, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you engaged in malicious use of a service provided by a telecommunications service provider. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and fines of up to $500 plus court costs. For purposes of arraignment, what say you, sir?
I plead not guilty.
Not guilty? There is no offer available in this matter from the prosecutor's office. Mr. Nolan, any comment on bond in this matter?
Nope, I leave that in the court's discretion.
Mr. Geisy, prior to this February 11, 2022 date, when was the last time you had contact with law enforcement?
Been years. 10 years.
Sir, the court's going to set your bond at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at your pretrial date. The next pretrial date for Belleville will be
April 21st at 9:40.
Okay.
April 21st at 9:40. That will be in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. Will I get a paperwork on that sent to my home?
You will, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Geisy, you also have some outstanding matters. It's an equipment violation and no insurance where $370 appears to be due to the court. These tickets were issued on March 20th, 2021.
Yeah, I came in courthouse yesterday and I showed them
For
my
this-
hospital. I'm sorry.
For the cases I just referenced?
Yes, I got real sick from COVID and been out of commission for a month. I came in yesterday to the courthouse and showed them my paperwork from the hospital. And they were gonna set up a day for me to come in and dispute those tickets.
Thank you. My papers were printed on Monday, so if you came in yesterday, they're just crossing in the building somewhere. So we'll see you back here on April 21st, sir, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. You have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Vivian.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Renardo Brown,
Yes, I'm here.
I don't see Mr. Bitar signing in. I'm going to put you in with one of our other in-house attorneys in their waiting room, okay?
Okay.
Michelle, I'm going to
Okay,
step
yep.
off for a second. if
Okay.
you
Yeah, I'm
need
going to
get
try to
anybody
clear the board.
identified. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson? Mr. Johnson, unmute.
Yes, can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put you in the waiting room, okay? And they'll be with you in just a minute.
I mean, what am I here today for? Fighting?
It looks like that's what the charge is. I'm going to put you in Mr. Jadala's waiting room.
Okay, 'cause I shouldn't even have this to you.
You're okay. I'm going to put you in his waiting room, okay? And you'll speak with him. Then I have, yes, sir.
I can clear one matter off the docket.
Who's Mr. Nolan? Okay.
It's Taylor Banks's case. I'll be dismissing that charge.
Okay. Mr. Banks, did you hear that?
It's Miss Banks.
Oh, Miss Banks, sorry.
Yes, okay. So I don't have to worry about anything anymore.
No.
No, you'll relay that to the judge when she comes back on, Mr. Nolan.
Tell your sister to keep her dog in the house. That's my only request.
She's already out of, her and the dog are out of my house.
All right, thank you, Ms. Banks. You're all set then.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nolan.
No
And then
problem.
I have
I've also-
Lakaya Terry. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know we'll be putting a plea on the matter with Attorney Dean Akuni.
And what's the case name?
Yes, good morning. This is
Bellevender.
Dean Cooney.
Okay, I got that
Name is
person.
Bellevender, Justine
Yep.
Bellevender.
I let him in right now.
Yep, thank you.
That helps. Okay, and then I have Lakaya Terry.
Lakaya here.
Lakaya, good morning. Would you
Good
like to speak
morning.
with our in-house attorney today?
Please.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put you in the waiting room.
Thank you.
Okay, Matthew Schaefer. Mr. Schaefer.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Schaefer. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to put you in Mr. Jadala's waiting room,
Okay.
and he'll grab you out of there in a few minutes, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
It may take a couple minutes, but he'll get to you. Go ahead and join that. And then Judge, we have Mr. Nolan. Miss Banks appeared, and Mr. Nolan, he can let you know, but he's dismissing that case.
Is correct.
21BL004970M, City of Belleville versus Taylor Banks.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm sorry, Michelle, did you say that Mr. Banks is present?
Miss Banks, she was,
Banks, my
he told her she could go because he was dismissing it.
Thank you very much. Case is dismissed.
Then I believe we have Attorney Inquiry. Are we here? We're ready on your case?
We are ready. Thank you.
And it's a Bellevender, Judge.
Two BL00036 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Justine Bellevender. Your appearance, please.
Yes, good
Shane
morning.
Nolan on behalf of the city.
Attorney Dean Cooney appearing on behalf of Justine Bellevender.
Ms. Bellevender, unmute yourself and state your name for the record.
Justine Bellevender.
Thank you. When we were last here on February 17th, the matter was adjourned, discovery was requested. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I've had discussions with the city attorney in this case, and we have reached a resolution, and I'd be happy to place that on the record. The original charge is going to be dismissed. My client will be tendering a guilty plea to the less serious offense of operating while visibly impaired. It's my understanding also that the civil infraction ticket will be dismissed.
That is correct.
Thank you. Ms. Bellevender, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You put your hand down. You were able to hear Mr. Anconi just now regarding the plea offer discussed by the parties?
Yes, Your Honor.
And ma'am, you understand that the court accepts your plea of guilty to operating while visibly impaired. The original charge of operating while impaired will be dismissed,
Yes.
along with the civil infraction of speeding?
Yes.
You understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, I do.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on January 16, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you were operating a vehicle while you were visibly impaired?
I thought you guys, they didn't have it over.
Ma'am?
I said yes, sorry.
Thank
Can you
you.
hear
I
me?
didn't hear you. Somebody else start talking. It's okay. Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
I'm satisfied,
Mr.
Judge.
Anconey?
Yes.
Thank you. Ma'am, the court accepts your plea to the added count of operating while visibly impaired. The original charge of operating while impaired will be dismissed along with the civil infraction. The next step in these proceedings is that the matter will be referred to probation for a pre-sentence interview, sentence recommendation, and they will schedule the sentence date, okay?
Okay.
We have a phone number for you that is in 7465. Is that still a good phone number for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, we don't have an email address on file for you. If you would be so kind as to put your email in the chat, do you know how to do that?
Yes, I do.
You're going to send it to Michelle Buckberry only, unless you want everybody to have your email address?
Nope, and I got it. Thank you.
That's what probation will use to reach out to you to schedule your interviews and submit forms to you to complete.
Okay, thank you. You said to Michelle Berry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
After you've met with probation, again, they will send a sentence recommendation to me and schedule your sentence date. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Nolan?
Oh, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Anconi?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Other than the email address, Ms. Belleville, we're all set. You may leave the courtroom after that.
Okay,
Justine, you can just text me your email address and I'll send it to the clerk right now.
I've got it. I've got it.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Angello, are you ready?
Yes, we're ready on Rayleigh, Johnson, Brown, and Schaefer.
This is 22BL000420M. This is City of Belleville versus Ryan Anthony Scott Hayes. May I have your appearances, please?
Respectfully, Sammer Jadala, P62186. Your Honor, what was the last name on that one?
Hayes, Ryan Hayes.
I'm sorry, I had
That's not
Rayleigh.
one- I'm sorry.
I had Rayleigh, Johnson, Brown, and Schaefer.
Rayleigh,
Correct.
Johnson, Brown, and Schaefer. Thank you,
Correct.
sir. Mr. Hayes, give me one moment. This is
Absolutely.
2201340M. This is City of Romulus versus Darren Glenn Rayleigh.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Respectfully, Sammer Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Rayleigh. Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we're waiving formal reading and staying mute. At this time, Mr. Rayleigh is going to respectfully request a pre-trial on this matter, and we're also requesting discovery.
Mr.
Judge,
Rayleigh, state your name for me, please.
I'm Darren Glenn Rayleigh. Mr. Judge, can I speak with you for a second?
You are, sir.
I'm having a case. I was in your courtroom yesterday with Miss Belcher, my attorney. I'm on another case,
Yes, sir.
basically on the same case with another defendant. These two people were together when they came to my house, right? What I'm asking you is there any way I could get Miss Belcher on this case with me? Because these two cases from yesterday and today are together, actually. I don't know how they're getting separated like this, but they are. Because this case was a surprise to me. Anyways, if the judge wouldn't have told me I had a court date today, I would have never known this one was even coming.
Mr. Rayleigh, the thing is, yesterday would have been a state case. Today is a local case. I remember
Okay.
your name from yesterday. I don't remember the exact charges, but these are two different. The prosecutor for the city is different than what we have for the
Okay.
state. So Ms. Belcher was, okay. So stand mute.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
well, we like I said, this case is new to me today, and we haven't even gotten the case files in on this one yet. Is there any way we can get an adjournment on this before we go to pretrial?
Your Honor, I have explained to Mr. Rayleigh that I'm requesting that this matter be set for a pretrial, and I'm also requesting discovery.
Okay.
Mr. Ray, if you can give me one moment to do my part and then we'll answer your questions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a recommendation from Romulus that Mr. Rayleigh's bond in this matter be set at 10,000, 10%. Mr. Shadala, Mr. Rayleigh appeared yesterday promptly and timely, appeared today promptly and timely. The court will deviate from the bond recommendation, set his bond at 5,000 personal. Mr. Rayleigh, you are to have no contact with the complainants in this case.
Yes, ma'am.
The notation in the file that discovery is requested and the adjourned pretrial date shall be
April 7th at 10:50.
April 7th at 10:50 a.m. That will be in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Rayleigh, back with Judge Green on April 7th, okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 21 RP 017560M. This is City of Romulus versus Ross Eugene Johnson. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, respectfully, Samuel Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Johnson. We waive formal reading and stand mute, Your Honor. Respectfully request a pretrial on this matter also. And request discovery also, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, state your name for me, please.
My name's Ross Johnson, Your Honor. 2/22/1984.
Mr. Johnson, you had a court date back on February 3rd, 2022. Why did you not appear?
No, February the 3rd, I appeared. And on the 7th, I appeared also, Your Honor. Remember, I talked to you on
Mr. Johnson, you might not be thinking about the same case. I was here on February 3rd. My notation is that you were not here by 11:05, but you're here this morning, so we'll set aside that show cause. Mr. Jadala has already proceeded with the arraignment in this matter. There is, let's look in the file. There is no bond recommendation. Court's gonna set your bond, Mr. Johnson, at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at all of your future court dates and have no contact with whoever this was that's alleged to have been fighting with you or engaging in violent behavior on May 25th, 2021.
But Your Honor, but I was explaining to the attorney that I never done any of this. I didn't have no fight. The cop asked me my number a month later. I got a ticket, but I wasn't fighting. I didn't go to jail. I never got a bond. I did nothing wrong.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you driving?
No, I'm not, ma'am. I'm in a car
Okay.
with someone.
Mr. Johnson, stop moving the phone and hear me out for 1 second. Today is just the first appearance, your arraignment date. We don't get to the facts of the case just yet, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay. I just want to say I'm not.
The matter will be adjourned. Your pretrial date will be
Sorry, Judge, April 7th at 10:50.
And excuse me, Your
April
Honor, I just
7th
want-
at 10:50 in number 3 with Judge Green. I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, you were starting to say what, sir?
I just wanted to notify you that through all of this, when I got well,
Mr. Johnson, you're breaking up, sir.
okay, what I'm trying to explain is that they had split this in half with a driving ticket. So on the 7th, when I talked to you, you told me that I had to go to the other judge courtroom, and I did that. So they had me plea out for $400, and I have the money. And what's going on?
Mr. Johnson, your audio and your video are not stable right now. This is not a good time for us to
When
have
I
this
got to my
conversation,
desk-
okay?
Okay, I'm trying to explain that I've been locked out of my house illegally, and I haven't been able to get in there and get my money or any of my belongings. I called the Romulus police. My landlord passed away, and his brother just come over there when I was gone and changed the lock. I called Romulus police. They told me it's a civil issue, and then an attorney told me I am supposed to be able to go in there and get my belongings, and that I can't break into my own house.
Mr. Johnson, unfortunately, that's not before me today. It is in fact a civil matter.
You better get it
I
right.
hear what you're saying and I appreciate it, Mr. Johnson, but there's nothing I can do for you this morning in this matter. You'll be back here on April 7th with Judge Green, okay?
April 7th, okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Hayes, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
They all just tell you that they can't help you.
Mr. Hayes, can you unmute, please? Mr. Hayes, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
Sure.
I'll put you in the waiting room.
This is 1602560T. This is City of Belleville versus Ramon Marquise Brown. May I have your appearances, please?
Select for Your Honor, Sam Richardala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brown. Your Honor, we waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, Mr. Brown will be pleading to one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
Mr. Brown, state your name for me, please, sir.
Ramon Brown.
Mr. Brown, you had the opportunity to discuss this case this morning with Mr. Jadala.
Yes.
You understand that if you plead guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, the driving while license suspended would be dismissed.
Yes.
Sir, if the court accepts your plea this morning, you understand that you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, I am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Brown, is it true that on January 15, 2016, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and will dismiss the driving while license suspended. Is there anything you'd like to say to the court before fines and costs are assessed?
No, ma'am.
Sir, this time the court's going to impose a fine of $100. There's cost of $100. There is crime victims fee of $75, mandatory state cost of $20, mandatory state cost of $50, fund fee of $20, $50 bench warrant, $50 late fee, and $45 clearance. There's a total of $490. Sir, are you able to pay that within 5 days, or do you need more time?
I would like to do a payment plan for it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, sir.
I said I would like to do a payment plan for it.
You're going to see an invitation to join the collections waiting room. Please go there. The collections department will be there with you shortly to establish a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. They can roll it into your existing payment plan. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco? I'm sorry, Mr. Nolan.
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Further, Your Honor.
Fuentes was scheduled at 10:20. It's now 10:40. Have we seen Mr. Fuentes?
She's here, right? She's here. I just saw her a minute ago. She's in here. Maybe she left.
Nancy, I'm sorry.
Nancy,
Nancy
she was in here.
Fuentes.
Nancy Fuentes, ¿estás presente? Are you present?
She was. I did let her in. I don't know where she went.
Okay. And there's a message from Terry in Greer's waiting room. Is there somebody in her waiting room? Oh, she's
There's
I see her.
few.
I don't know why she's looking for assistance. Okay.
Mr. Lewis, I will
Schaefer.
put you in for the waiting room.
This
Mr.
is
Jadal, you have a
22B
couple.
Matthew Schaefer still to be called.
This is 22BL00102 A, B, and C. These are all City of Belleville versus Matthew Schaefer. May I have your appearances, please?
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Reginald, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Schaefer, Your Honor. For purposes of today's arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, Mr. Schaefer would like to avail himself to the plea, whereby he'll be pleading to one count of operating while visibly impaired and one count of driving while license not valid, Your Honor.
Mr. Schaefer, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. You swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You put your hand down. You're able to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Jadala,
Yes, ma'am.
and you understand that there's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to operating while visibly impaired and driving while license not valid, that the operating while intoxicated and the speeding ticket would be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer, is it true that on February 12th, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you operated a vehicle while you were visibly impaired?
Yes.
Sir, is it also true that on February 12th, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you drove while your license was not valid?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Schaefer, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of operating while visibly impaired. The operating while intoxicated will be dismissed. The court also accepts your plea of guilty to driving while license not valid. The speeding ticket will be dismissed. Sir, the next step in these proceedings is that the file will be referred to the probation department for you to have an interview. They will make a sentence recommendation to this court and schedule your sentence date.
Okay.
We have a email for you. I don't see a phone number for you. Do you know how to put your phone number in the chat, or Mr. Jadala, do you have his phone number?
I do not, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I can do that.
Put it in the chat only to Ms. Buckberry unless you want everyone to have it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this was your arraignment date, there had not been bond set. While this matter continues to be pending, Mr. Schaefer, the court's going to set your bond at $5,000 personal.
Okay.
You don't need to post any money, but please participate in everything that the probation department asks you to do. On February 12th, sir, was it drugs or alcohol?
Alcohol.
Okay, do not purchase, possess, consume any alcohol while this matter remains pending with the court, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Nolan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Schaefer, have a good day, sir.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. Day, good morning.
Ms. Mutchler, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
I mean, yeah, I guess that would be possibly.
Okay, I'll put you in the waiting room.
Thank you.
Mr.
This is Tom
Jadala,
DiPietro.
I'm making my way into the breakout room. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Mr. Day,
Judge Tom DiPietro appearing on John Day's computer. On
thank you.
Andy's,
Mr. DePietro, what are you here for?
I'm here on Andy's Cinnamon, Your Honor. It's set up
Client there
for,
with you, or are you expecting him in our?
my client is with me, Your Honor.
Are you ready to proceed, or do you need to speak to Mr. Nolan?
I need to speak to Mr. Nolan, Your Honor.
Michelle will get you into a breakout room with him. Nancy Fuentes.
Nancy Fuentes. Señorita Fuentes, ¿está presente? Are you here?
She must have left. The person with the initials BC, can I have your name, please?
Las iniciales BC. ¿Puede dar su nombre?
Okay, the last name Pulley, Morale Pulley, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll put you in there right now.
All right, thank you.
The name LaShawn Anderson, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney? LaShawn Anderson, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney? I need you to answer, please. Unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll put you in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Caleb's iPhone. Caleb,
Yes,
what is your last name?
it is Bradley.
Thank you. Mr. Bradley, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll put you in the breakout room.
Thank you.
Is it Kania, what, right?
Yes.
Ms. Wright, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
Yes, ma'am.
The Zoom user. Can I have your name, please?
Dennis Vieira.
Okay, I'll take you. You're a Moto G stylist, but we'll take you. Say your name again.
Dennis Vieira. I apologize.
No, you're all good. Can you spell your last name for me?
V is in victory.
Sure.
Ieira.
I think I got that right. Okay, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney today?
I've already spoken with him. This is a pre-trial.
Who would you speak with?
It was Dan Batar, I believe.
We don't have Mr. Batar here today. So would you like to speak with another one today?
No, it was
Oh, Mr.
It was
Jadala.
Mr. Jadala.
I see. And you already spoke to him, so you're good. Okay.
I couldn't pronounce it. Sorry.
No, you're all good. Just trying to expedite people.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Can you tell me what your name is?
BC is George Terry.
George Terry?
Yes, ma'am.
950.
Mr. Terry, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll put you in the waiting room. The Zoom user. Can I have your name? Okay, let's try.
El usuario de Zoom, ¿quién es? I'm just interpreting what you said just in case.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Thank you. Steve Tramonton.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here for Ramon Barber and we're ready.
You're the counsel for him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, gotcha.
Is 21BL00880 A and B, 21BL00940 A and B. These are all City of Belleville versus Ramon Martel Barber II. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Steve Tremontin with and on behalf of Mr. Barber in all matters.
Your Honor, Shane Nolan on behalf of the City of Belleville.
Your Honor, I've had some communication with Mr. Nolan. Mr. Barber has a meeting with Secretary of State on the 27th of this month to attempt to resolve his licensing issues. We're asking for a brief adjournment to allow that to occur, and I don't believe there's any objection.
There is none.
Mr. Barber, state your name for the record, sir.
Ramon Barber.
We're adjourning them to
April 21st at 9:30.
April 21st, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Nolan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Tramonton?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Barber has outstanding payment plan with this court. He has a payment due on March the 25th. There's a note on the front of the file. I'm just advising you of that. Have a good day, Mr. Barber. Good luck to you with the Secretary of State.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too, sir.
Ms. Sanchez, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
I have to say anything.
You gotta speak up.
I have to talk to an attorney to say anything.
You do not have to speak with our in-house attorney.
Okay. I mean, if I could talk to, yeah, I will.
Ma'am, you have really bad audio. It's breaking in and out.
Yes, I'll talk.
You will talk to them. Okay, I'll put you in the waiting room. Mr. Jadala, are you ready on anything?
I'm ready on Hayes, Lewis, Bradley, Anderson, and Terry.
Which Anderson?
And LaShawn Anderson.
Which Terry?
George Terry.
Thank you. This is 22BL0000420M, the City of Belleville versus Ryan Hayes. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Hayes. Your Honor, Mr. Hayes claims he's been arraigned already, and this is matter set for pretrial. I'm going to ask that it be set for a final pretrial where all witnesses must appear, and also respectfully request discovery in this matter.
Mr. Hayes, state your name for me, please, sir.
Iggy's muted.
Ryan Hayes.
Thank you. Discovery was requested back on February 17, 2022, when Mr. Wiley was here. So we'll make sure that Mr. Nolan makes note and gets the discovery over to you. Be adjourned.
Your Honor, was there an appointed counsel on it prior to me?
MIDC was waived at that time.
Okay.
Final pretrial where all witnesses must appear will be
April 21st at 9:40.
Your Honor, may I ask why all witnesses need to appear for the final pretrial? I'd understand if this was a bench trial, but.
How many people are we talking about, Mr.?
Several. This took place in City Hall, same place as the police station. Mr. Hayes refused to leave the building. because he was not wearing a mask. He was asked several times to leave. He would not vacate the premises, and Chief Robinson himself had to arrest him.
Jadala?
Bernard asked for some type of someone to have to appear at the final pretrial just to see if there's any possibility at potential resolution. As of now, there is no plea offers and there's nothing. And I understand if Your Honor, and if that's the case, we just ask for a final pretrial and ask that discovery be set so we have the information by that time.
I'm happy to exchange discovery, and I can have Chief Robinson present for the hearing, assuming he is available. In the interim, I'm happy to discuss with Mr. Jadala potential plea resolution, but right now, without speaking with Chief Robinson, I cannot offer a plea at this time.
Mr. Jadala, are you satisfied with amending your request to a single witness, Chief Robinson?
Yes, if he has this, if that would be where the settlement.
If he's
authority would
available.
come from. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hayes, we'll see you back here on April 21st, 2022, 9:40 a.m. in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Nolan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Thank you for your patience this morning, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 22BL00070 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Tyler Lewis.
I respectfully, Samuel Jadala, appearing on behalf of Mr. Lewis. At this time, we'll wait for a reading and stand mute. Mr. Lewis will be pleading to 1 count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and 1 count of double parking.
Mr. Lewis, take your hood off, please, and state your name for the record.
Tyler Lewis.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, I'm sorry, you said allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and double parking?
1 count of allowing and 1 count of double parking.
Mr. Lewis, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you can put your hand down. Thank you. You had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Jadala,
Yes, Your Honor.
along with the offer being made by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, you wish to accept the offer made by the prosecutor and plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and responsible for double parking.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Okay.
Mr. Lewis,
Yes, Your Honor.
you understand? Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, is it true that on January 29, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, is it also true that on January 29, 2022, again in the city of Belleville, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and responsible to double parking. Is there anything you'd like to say to the court before your fines and costs are imposed?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis, in allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, the court's going to impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's a $75 crime victim fee, $50 mandatory state costs, and fund fee of $20. That's a total of $345. On the driving while licenses, I'm sorry, on the double parking, the court's going to assess $200, sir. Are you able to pay that $545 within the next 5 days, or do you need a payment plan?
Can I get a payment plan, please?
You're going to see an invitation to join the collections waiting room. You'll go there, you'll wait for the collections department. They'll put you on a payment plan. They can roll it into your existing, I'm sorry. You have some other matters that you need to set payments on as well. They'll be able to handle all of your matters at the same time. You have another case, Mr. Lewis. You have a driving while license suspended that's in warrant status. You'll need to contact the court to take care of that as well. I don't have that file this morning, though.
Is that in the city of Romulus? Is this the same?
It is. It's a Romulus case, sir.
Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Okay. Anything else?
No, ma'am, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, into collections, waiting room, sir. Thank you.
All right, you have a blessed.
Judge,
You
may I
too,
interrupt?
thank you.
I'm sorry. May I interrupt for just one moment?
Absolutely.
Miss Kiana Wright is a Belleville case. And I was going to ask if Mr. Jadala could go to my meeting room and meet with her because I don't have the email for the Romulus cases. For the Belleville cases.
He'll go there. I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna do his 3 cases and then he can go there. Okay.
I can move her.
Okay,
Thank
that
you.
would be great. Thank you. And I the other cases I'm ready on for mine. I'll be waiting as well.
Thank you. This is 21BL00913 OM. This is City of Belleville versus Caleb Bradley.
Honor, respectfully, Sam Reginala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Bradley. Honor, at this time would waive formal reading and staying mute. Mr. Bradley would like to avail himself to the plea whereby he will be pleading as charged under 771.1, 6-month deferred sentence.
Mr. Bradley, state your name for the record, sir.
Caleb Bradley.
And are you actually at Michigan Tech or is that just the best wall hanging ever?
It's at my work. Best wall hanging ever.
Mr. Bradley, you had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Jadala, including the plea offer from the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear from the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You put your hand down.
Okay.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bradley, is it true that on December 17, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you were in possession of a controlled substance?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bradley, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the sole count in this matter of possession of controlled substance. As previously indicated by Mr. Jadala, your plea will be taken under advisement for a period, deferred for a period of 6 months. So long as you incur no new criminal offenses, the matter will be reviewed for dismissal. Was there any conversation as to the fines in this or the cost in this matter, Mr. Jadala?
There was not, Your Honor.
Mr. Bradley, the court's going to assess $300 in costs. Are you able to pay that amount within the next 5 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Pay within 5 days, no new misdemeanors in the state of Michigan over the next 6 months. The court will review the matter administratively for dismissal. Anything else, Mr. Nolan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Bradley, good luck to you, sir. You may log off at this time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Judge, Mr. Killawald would like his case called. His client is not present.
Who's his client?
Mr. Killawald?
It's Trey Hampton.
This is 2010750 OT, City of Romulus versus Trey Hampton. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pre-trial at 9:10 a.m. It is now 11:04 a.m. by the court's clock. Mr. Killawald, I saw you sitting there. I wasn't sure who you were here for. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dick Hill on behalf of Mr. Hampton.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
Your Honor, I've known Trey for a long time. There's got to be a reason why we spoke yesterday. I would ask the court if it would be gracious enough to grant me a 1-week adjournment in this matter, and I will get a hold of Mr. Hampton and figure out why he wasn't here today.
I'm supposed to be helping.
I have no objection, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr. Kellewald last week regarding this case, and we have a potential plea, and I have no objection to his request.
Yes,
It's
Your
not
Honor.
a 1-week adjournment, sir. It's going to be a little bit longer. That date will be
That's fine, Your Honor.
Into
Again, I anticipate
April 7th at 10:40.
April 7th
April
at 10.
7th at 10:40 and number 3 with Judge Green.
April 7th at 10:40.
Yes, sir.
That will be with Judge Green.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. And I apologize for wasting the court's time.
It's not a waste of time, Mr. Kilowall. It's a pleasure to see you.
You too, Your Honor, and we will work this out. Thanks, Mr. Greco.
Miss Vivian, maybe she's here now because I heard somebody on the phone, 5943, maybe speaking Spanish.
Okay. El número 5943, ¿es usted, señorita Fuentes? Enciende tu micrófono.
Ask her if she can unmute, maybe.
Yeah, I just told her to
Okay.
turn on her microphone. Sacate de silencio. Take yourself off mute. Número de teléfono 5943. ¿Es usted, señorita Fuentes? Number 5943. Is it you, Miss Fuentes? I don't hear anything.
This is 22BL000880T. This is City of Belleville versus LaShawn Anderson. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, Sam Jadala, appearing on behalf of Mr. Anderson. At this time, we'll wait for a reading and stand mute. Mr. Anderson would like to plead to 1 count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
Mr. Anderson.
You see me?
Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor. I really don't know how to turn the screen on.
Just say your name for now.
LaShawn Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, were you able to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Jadala, including the offer from the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's your understanding that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and the driving while license suspended will be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Anderson, is it true that on February 8, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Anderson, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. The driving while license suspended will be dismissed. The court's going to assess a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's a $75 crime victim fee. There's a $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fine fee for a total of $345. So are you able to pay that within the next 5 days?
No, Your Honor.
Sir, we're going to put you into the collections waiting room. You're going to discuss a payment plan with them. They can attach you to your existing payment plan with the court, okay? Anything else, Mr. Nolan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Anderson, please wait to speak to the collections department. This is 220151OM. This is City of Romulus versus George Terry. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, preparing on behalf of Mr. Terry. For purposes of arraignment, we'd wait for a reading and stand mute. At this time, Your Honor, we'd like to plead not guilty, set the matter for pre-trial and request discovery in this matter.
Mr. Terry, state your name for me, please, sir.
George Terry.
Thank you, sir. There is a recommendation from the city of Romulus Police Department that Mr. Terry receive a personal bond. The court will adopt that, set his bond at 5,000 personal. Mr. Terry, you do not need to post any amount of money, but what you must do is appear at all of your future court dates. Your pretrial date will be, Michelle, are we on the April 21st?
And we can do April 7th at 10:40.
April 7th, 2022 at 10:40 a.m. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further.
Mr. Terry, you're back here on April 7th with Judge Green. Have a good day, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Miss Vivian, do you want to try one more time?
Yes. El número 5943, usted es señorita Fuentes, diga su nombre.
Sí.
Yes,
Nancy.
yes. That's her.
Nancy Elizondo Fuentes. Sí.
Nancy Elizondo Fuentes.
Ujú.
Would she like to speak with
Do you
her?
want to speak to the court-appointed attorney this morning?
Señorita Fuentes, ¿usted quiere hablar con el abogado contratado por la corte?
En este momento.
Right now?
Yes.
Sí.
Sí.
Yes.
You're going to go into the waiting room to speak to the court-appointed attorney regarding this matter.
Vamos a ir a un cuarto de espera, una sala de espera, así usted puede hablar con el abogado en tu asunto.
Ok, bueno, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
If
Are
I-
we ready with Mr. DiPietro and his client?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is 22BL00104 A and B, City of Romulus versus Andrew Cinnamon. May I have your appearances, please?
Tom DiPietro appearing on behalf of Mr. Cinnamon, Your Honor.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus, but I'm not aware of this case, actually. I don't think.
It's a Belleville matter.
It's still City of Belleville, Mr. Greco.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. DiPietro,
Yes, Your Honor.
could you have your client state his name for the record, please?
Andrew Cinnamon.
Today is the day and time set for the arraignment of this matter. You've had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I've entered a plea of stand mute for my client and had a discussion with Mr. Nolan, and we've agreed to a brief adjournment for the purpose of allowing some elementary discovery.
The new date will be
Thank you,
April
sir.
21st at 9:50.
April 21st at 9:50 in number 3 with Judge Green.
Very well, Your Honor. Thank you.
DiPietro, inasmuch as your client has presented himself this morning with you, the court's going to set bond at 5,000 personal. No intoxicants during these proceedings. Anything else, Mr. Nolan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. DiPietro?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. See you here in April.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Greer, are you ready on some?
I am.
First one, Ms. Greer.
Okay, I forgot where I was, Judge. How about Mr. Terry? Terry.
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, you're.
I have
Mr.
two
Harris,
okay.
Terry
I
Harris?
see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hold on. This is 220150OM. This is City of Romulus versus Terry Harris. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
Honor,
Here,
David Greco here on behalf of the city.
and Sharon Griffin on behalf of Mr. Terry Harris.
Mr. Harris, state your name for me, please.
Terry Denoise Harris Jr.
Thank you.
111.
Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Ms. Greer, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we ask the court to waive the formal reading and we will stand mute to the charges. Mr. Harris is going to enter a guilty plea to the state's offer, the prosecutor's offer, of disorderly person pursuant to 771.1. And the offer is for 6 months. And I'm asking the prosecutor if he would consider 4 months so that the case will be done before Mr. Harris goes off to college.
I have no issue with 4 months.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. You had the opportunity to discuss your case with Ms. Greer this morning,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's your understanding that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of being a disorderly person.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea in this matter, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yeah.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Sir, are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Is it true that on January 22nd, 2022, in the city of Romulus, you were a disorderly person?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes.
Satisfied, Ms.
Your Honor, I should jump in. I apologize. I spoke on behalf of the city of Romulus, unbeknownst, not knowing that this was a Romulus case. I apologize when I agreed to the 4-month deferred sentence. I assume Mr. Greco is on board with that as well, but in any event, I thought I should put that on the record.
Yeah, I offered 6 months. I have no objection to the 4 months. I heard the reason on the record from Ms. Greer.
Thank you to both
Satisfied, Ms. Greer?
prosecutors. Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris, the court accepts your plea of guilty to being a disorderly person on the date in question, as previously agreed by and between the parties. Sentence in this matter will be deferred for a period of 4 months. So long as you incur no new criminal offenses, the file will be reviewed for dismissal. The court is going to impose costs in this matter of $200. Are you able to pay that within the next 5 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you can either go online and pay, you can bring it to the courthouse, or you can mail it to the courthouse. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much to both prosecutors.
Mr. Harris, before you log off, sir, you have a impeding traffic where you owe the court $330. You're gonna need to address that. You can go online and request a payment plan in that case, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Greer, next case.
That would be George Terry.
I think we already had that one.
We did George Terry.
Oh, we did George Terry?
It's Lakaya.
Thank you. This is 220153OM. This is City of Romulus versus Lakaya Terry.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Terry, you spoke with Ms. Greer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I ask what time is Miss Lakaya Terry?
9:50.
9:50?
Yes.
So instead of George Terry, it's Lakara Terry.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All righty. Your Honor, as to the arraignment, we will waive the formal meeting and stand mute to those charges. Ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Ms. Terry. And Your Honor, we are asking that the court set another pretrial date and that an order of discovery be entered.
The bond recommendation from the city of Romulus indicates they don't oppose personal bond. The court's going to set the bond at 5,000 personal. Make a notation that discovery has been requested. Continue the pretrial to,
Sorry, Judge. April 7th at 10:50.
April 7th at 10:50. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Terry, before you leave, you have some outstanding matters with this court. There is a failure to yield and a double parking where you owe the court $534. You can go on the court's website and submit an email request to establish a payment plan in this matter. It'll be under contact us, and it'll be the one of the drop-down selections is to set the payment plan.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am. You may log off. Have a good day.
you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are we ready on Fuentes?
Can I ask a question?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Who's asking the question?
Terry. I was on a case with them three.
Mr. Terry, we were trying to get you to turn your video on and turn your audio on so we could identify you so your case could be called. You did not respond. So I don't think, have you spoken with either of the court-appointed attorneys this morning?
No, I have not.
You'll go in the queue. They'll get you renamed, sir. I'm in the middle of some other things, but we see you. We'll get to you this morning, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Are we ready on Fuentes?
Yes, Your Honor. She's in the breakout room. She's on a phone. You might have to manually.
I brought her out. I brought her out.
This is 21BL00938A. This is City of Belleville versus Fuentes.
Este es caso 21BL00938A, la ciudad de Belleville en contra de Fuentes.
Your Honor, Samuel Jadala appearing on behalf of Ms. Fuentes.
Su señoría, Samer Jadala, representando señorita Fuentes.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. Ms. Fuentes will be pleading to one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
Y para la leída de cargos, renunciamos a la leída de cargos formales y la señorita Fuentes se va a declarar culpable de dar permiso a una persona sin licencia de conducir.
Ms. Fuentes, state your name for the record, please.
Señorita Fuentes, diga su nombre por la acta.
Nancy Elizondo Fuentes.
Nancy Elizondo Fuentes.
Ms. Fuentes, do you swear or affirm that you will tell the truth in these matters?
Señorita Fuentes, ¿usted jura que va a decir la verdad en este asunto?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fuentes, you understand that you will be tendering a plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive this morning?
Señorita Fuentes, ¿usted entiende que está entregando una declaración que diste permiso a una persona sin licencia de conducir?
Sí, señora.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Jadala discussed all of your rights and possible penalties with you this morning.
Y el señor Jadala habló con usted de todas las penalidades posibles y de todos tus derechos esta mañana?
Sí.
Yes.
And it's true that on December 28, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive.
Y es verdad que el 28 de diciembre 2021, usted estaba en la ciudad de Belleville y dio permiso a una persona sin licencia de conducir.
Sí.
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
Ma'am, Your Honor.
¿Está satisfecho, señor Nolan? Sí, su señoría.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
¿Está satisfecho, señor Jadala? Sí, su señoría.
The court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
La corte acepta tu declaración de ser culpable de dar permiso a una persona sin licencia de conducir.
Will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100.
Vamos
Crime
a
victims of,
poner una multa de $100 y costos de $100. Excuse me.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Crime victims of 75, state costs of 50, and fund fee of 20.
Costos de víctimas de $75, costos de corte de $50 y otros costos de 20.
$345. Do you need more than 5 days to pay?
El total es $345. ¿Necesitas más de 5 días para pagar?
Sí,
Yes.
por favor.
Yes, please.
You're going to go into the collections room to discuss a payment plan with them.
Vas a ir en un cuarto de colección, así podés hablar con ellos para un plan de pago. Will I be able to go there with her, Your Honor?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're
Yes.
welcome. Gracias.
Ms. Greer,
Yes, Judge.
next case.
Your Honor, now I understand what happened with Miss Terry. There are 4 people on the file, and so I guess I could speak with the other person and try to find out what he wanted to do.
Thank you. If you
There
want to
is-
go, Mary Ann, Michelle will put you with them.
Okay.
She can move, Ms.
Move
Greer, your
herself, I'm
co-host, so
sorry.
you can
Yeah.
move yourself.
Your Honor, we're ready
You have
on
to call them.
a Vieira, a Sanchez, and a Wright.
And then can I ask did anyone speak to Miss Posey? I don't think she
Hello?
answered me.
Can Miss Sharon, you know I'm still here?
We're here,
Hold on.
sir.
We'll get her back, Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
This is 21BL006290T. This is City of Belleville versus Dennis Vieira.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardella, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Vieira. At this time, Your Honor, today's the date and time set for a final pretrial. I've gone over the offer with my client. Your Honor, at this time, he's respectfully requesting a bench trial on this matter.
Mr. Vieira, state your name for the record, please.
Dennis Matthew Vieira.
Bench trial date will be
So how does that work, Judge? I've never done that. Do I set that on
We
Judge
do-
Green's docket? Or do I set
we
it for
on
another?
Judge Green's docket at the end of her docket. We usually do it right after lunch so that she can conclude her docket with Mr. Nolan.
Okay, hold on a second.
Discovery is complete in this matter, Mr. Jadala.
I believe so, yes, Your Honor. If not, I'm pretty sure I could contact Mr. Nolan and he'll provide me anything that's incomplete.
Thank you.
Believe I've exchanged what I have.
Yes.
Judge, I apologize. Judge Green wants it set for another pretrial. And then she'll set it for a trial.
And Your Honor, we'll ask for a continued final pretrial before Judge Green.
Sorry. April 21st at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
April 21st, 10 a.m., Judge Green in courtroom number 3. Mr. Vieira, have a good afternoon, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a
We'll
good
send
day.
you notice,
You're
Mr.
welcome,
Vieira.
sir.
Okay, thank you.
This is 21BL00568B, City of Belleville versus Serena Sanchez.
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala appearing on behalf of Ms. Sanchez. For purposes of today's arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, the Sanchez will be bringing to one count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive.
Sanchez, state your name for me, please.
Serena Sanchez.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can put your hand down now. Ma'am, you were able to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Jadala, including the offer from the prosecutor?
Yeah.
And it's your understanding that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, and the driving while license suspended will be dismissed?
Yeah, but I was driving.
Ms. Sanchez, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yeah.
You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Okay.
And yes, you understand that? And you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Kind of, to an extent.
Ma'am, are you, there's something, feedback I'm getting in the background.
Yeah, it's because I originally did this because I didn't pay a ticket. So I know it's a law now that you can't take somebody's license for a ticket, and that's why my license was suspended originally.
I'm sorry?
It was originally suspended because I didn't pay a ticket.
Your Honor, she's explaining to the court that her license was suspended because she did not pay a ticket. That's what led to her license being suspended.
Thank you. Ms. Sanchez, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get your plea guilty?
Yeah, just a lesser sentence. So.
Ms. Sanchez, are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Of driving with a suspended license, I didn't know. Yeah.
Ma'am, is it true that on September 5th, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
I was driving. Yeah.
For purposes of getting this deal, isn't it true that you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive, even though it may have been you? Isn't it true you did that?
Yes, I was driving, and I did not know that I didn't have a license.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez.
Thank you. Ms. Sanchez, the court will accept your plea to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Will dismiss the driving while license suspended. The court's going to impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 crime victims. There's a $50 show cause, $50 state cost, $20 fund fee. That's a total of $395. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I'm probably gonna need that.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
More than 5 days.
You're going to go into the collections waiting room. You'll speak with them. They'll put you on the payment plan. You have an outstanding impeding traffic where you owe the court $240. You can discuss payment plan with them with that one as well, okay? Right? 22BL00110 A and B. This is City of Belleville versus Kana Wright.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Jadala, P62186, hearing on behalf of Wright. Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, Your Honor, Ms. Wright will be pleading to one count of operating while visibly impaired. Speeding matter is being dismissed.
Ms. Wright, would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down now. Ma'am, you had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Mr. Jadala.
I did.
And you understand that you'll be entering a plea this morning of guilty to the added count of operating while visibly impaired. The high BAC and the accompanying speeding civil infraction would be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or stand cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it true that on February 17, 2022, in the city of Belleville, you operated a vehicle while you were visibly impaired?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of operating while visibly impaired. The original charge of operating with a high BAC will be dismissed along with the speeding ticket. As this is your first appearance, bond had not been set in this matter. Your bond will be $5,000 personal. You are to not purchase, possess, consume any alcoholic beverages during the pendency of this matter. The next step in these proceedings is that your case will be referred to the probation department for a interview and preparation of a sentence recommendation. The probation department is also the people who will schedule your matter for sentencing. We do not have a phone number that I can see or an email address for Ms. Wright.
Wait a minute, baby.
Mr. Jadala, were you able to get that information in the breakout room with her?
I was not, Your Honor. I will, if you put it back in the breakout room, Your Honor, I will get it and give it to the court.
Thank you. Ms. Wright, please go back into the breakout room. Mr. Jadala will get that information to the court. You'll be thereafter released. Probation department will be emailing and calling you to complete certain forms and complete your interview so that a sentence recommendation may be prepared. Anything else in this matter? Mr. Nolan?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Wright, good luck to you. I'll see you back here on your sentence date.
Your Honor, I need to step out for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Greer, do you have Mr. Brown?
Yes, I do, and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
This is 1516830T. This is City of Romulus versus Renardo Brown. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor,
Sharon
David,
Greer. I'm sorry.
that's all right. David Greco here on behalf of the city.
And Sharon Greer, P40133, appearing on behalf of Mr. Brown. As to the arraignment, we will stand mute and waive the formal reading of the charges and ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown, state your name for the record, sir.
Renardo Brown.
Mr.
Your Honor,
Brown
Mr.
was arraigned back on February 17th. How are we proceeding as for the pretrial?
Mr. Brown is going to plead guilty to the reduced charge of not having an operator's license on his person. That is the offer by the prosecutor.
Mr. Brown, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. You had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Ms. Greer,
Yes.
and your understanding is that you'll be tendering a plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on person and driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied would be dismissed.
Yes.
And you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Brown, is it true that on April 27, 2015, in the city of Romulus, you had no operator's license on your person when required to do so?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes.
Satisfied, Ms. Greer?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of no operator's license on your person, will dismiss the driving while license suspended. The court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's crime victims of $75.
Your Honor, Mr. Brown is definitely going to need a payment plan as he is not working at this time.
Understand, we'll put him into speak with the collections department when I'm done. Thank you, ma'am. $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. Yes, sir.
I was going to ask Your Honor if there's a way possible for me to do community, for you to add one community service along with, I had a court date with you last month and I'm currently in transitional, so there's no telling, even if I do go into the collections, when I'm going to be able to start having some income to pay on anything. So that's why you had gave me a deferral with community service.
You were
with the
sitting there with
program.
your worker to your right last time, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brown, what I will do is finish imposing the fines and costs. You're gonna go, you can reach out to the court's probation department. They can convert the money into community service or community engagement enrichment, okay?
Okay. I got one more thing, Your Honor. On that last case, they sent the paperwork to me and they gave me a list of places where I can complete my community service, but they didn't note that you said that I could do my community service here at the transitional program I'm currently at, because that's what they do. So
You will do that. Send the letter on their letterhead to probation. I have notes in the file. I remember writing notes in the file because it was something a little out of the ordinary.
yeah. So they gave me a bunch of places, but I'm already in the program, and you told me I do it here because that's when my counselor spoke up. But the paperwork that they sent me told me that I got to pick something else. So I didn't know what to do.
Mr. Brown, you listen to the person in the robe. I'm telling you that I remember you and your worker, and I remember where you were sitting in our conversation. You had come an awful long way since you picked up these charges, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
There are 3 bench warrants in this file, $50 a piece, $45 clearance fee, and $50 late fee. That's $590. I am putting a note in the file that all of these may be converted to community service, as we discussed previously, so long as your community service hours are documented on their letterhead and they send it over, probation department will accept it. My notes are in the file.
Okay, so
Okay.
just, okay, thank you. I could just do it. Okay.
Mr. Brown, anything else?
No. Do I need to go to the room you're finna send me to or something?
You don't. We'll take care of it. I made a note. I'm gonna hold on to the file so I can put a better note in there so that they know to accept your letter. And you look a lot better even than when we saw you last time. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, Mr. Brown. You have a wonderful afternoon, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I don't mean to interrupt. I started bench trial at noon in Judge Oakley's, and I am currently in Dearborn. I need to get in my car and head towards you.
Okay, I understood. Thank you, Mr. Jadala.
Thank you, Judge Martin.
We had Miss
Smuchler, didn't you spoke, I put you in the breakout room. Did you speak with one of the attorneys?
I actually did not. As soon as you transferred me, it's my my Zoom stopped responding, and I tried to wait for it to respond and it didn't. So I had to basically reconnect.
Okay, and Mr. Chitala has somebody in his waiting room he didn't do. Okay. Ms. Greer, I'm going to move Mr. Terry to you.
I will take care of that.
Ms. Greer, what do you have ready?
I have, is it Pulley?
Yes, that's me.
22RP005250M. This is City of Romulus versus Morel Pulley. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, how you doing?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
And Sharon Greerprint on behalf of Mr. Pulley, who's on the screen, Your Honor. As to the arraignment, we were
State your
waiting.
name for me.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes, good morning, Judge. My name is Morel Pulley.
Thank you. For purposes of arraignment, Ms. Greer.
We waive the formal reading and ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Mr. Pulley as he's standing mute.
Thank you, ma'am. And as for the pretrial.
As to the pretrial, Your Honor, we're going to seek discovery from Romulus, and we're asking the court to set another pretrial date for us.
Bond in this matter is going to be set at 1,000 personal. Mr. Pulley, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at your future court dates, making a notation in the file that discovery is requested, and the next pretrial date will be
April 7th at 10:50.
April 7th at 10:50 a.m. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Oh, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pulley, the only outstanding matter is that you have a payment plan with this court. You owe the court $2,020. You are behind on that plan. Please correct that oversight.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Pulley. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Ms. Greer,
Yes.
anything else ready?
No, Your Honor, I think I just have Mr. Terry I'm going to do for Mr. Jadala.
Then you have another one in there, Ms. Mutchler, and then I'm assuming I have others right here that haven't responded to me
Oh,
yet.
Okay.
So go ahead and
I
start
will
working
go
on
to-
those and I'll send you more.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Foster?
Yes,
Okay, I put you in the breakout room once. Did you not speak with somebody?
I never went into the breakout room.
Okay. All right, I'm going to put you in Miss Greer's waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, if I may, we did have a 10 o'clock Delilah J Investments set for trial that I've got the people here from the city of Romulus prepared to go, but they do not look like they're a no-show for today.
Mr.
So,
Greco, let me see who these people on the phone are.
got it. Sorry.
Because they won't answer me. So the person with 6144, can I have your name? The last 4 digits of your phone number are 6144. Can I have your name?
Yes, this is Janina Metocario. I'm calling for Jalapa J Investments.
Oh, okay.
Is that your trial, Mr. Greco?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Okay. And then the phone number 0296. Can I have your name?
Yes, it's Palestine Claiborne.
Ma'am, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
I guess, ma'am. I really don't even know what this is. I got a
Okay, I'll put you in the
summons
breakout room and she'll explain all of it to you, okay?
Okay, thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Can anybody out there hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was just wondering.
Mr. Ortiz, hold on a second. You don't need to talk to the other defendants. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
Mr. Ortiz, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
Yes.
Okay, you're last on the list because you've been the last to appear, so just hold on a minute.
That's fine.
Miss Posey? Miss Booth?
Sorry,
It's okay. Miss Posey, would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
if I want to change my plea, do I have to speak to the attorney?
You can ask the judge.
1935150T. This is City of Belleville versus Latanya Posey. Ms. Posey, state your name for the record, please.
Latanya Posey.
Ms. Posey. This matter is before the court this morning on arraignment pre-trial. Ma'am, it's alleged that on August 17, 2019, in the city of Belleville, you drove while your license was suspended, revoked, or denied. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and fines of up to $500 plus court costs. The court clerk just asked you if you want to speak to the court-appointed attorney. You indicated that you wish to change your plea. There's an offer from the prosecutor that if you plead guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, that the driving while license suspended would be dismissed. Now that all of that information is out, what is it that you wish to do this morning?
I would like to change my plea to guilty.
Guilty to the reduced count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You say yes?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Ma'am, you understand that the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive this morning, that you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
You're entering this plea freely and voluntarily, ma'am? You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ms. Posey, is it true that on August 17, 2019, the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
Ma'am, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court accepts your plea of guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. The driving while license suspended will be dismissed. Have you since resolved your license issues?
This is my last step right here.
Well, Ms. Posey, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. The court is going to assess minimal fines and costs in this matter. It's $100 fine, $100 in costs. There's $75 crime victims, mandatory state cost of $50, building fee of $20. There are 1, 2, 3 bench warrants in here that are $150 a piece, and then a clearance fee of $45. That's $540. Ma'am, do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. Can I actually pay it today?
The file might not be ready today because they have to put the summary in. So I would say try back tomorrow, maybe even Monday, but it'll be 5 days to pay $540. Anything else, Ms. Posey?
No, that is all.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Booth, Peyton Booth, Miss Peyton Booth. The person with the iPhone, can I have your name?
Shannon Palmer.
Yep, no, not you, Mr. Ortiz. The person with the iPhone, go ahead.
Shannon Palmer.
Shannon
Palmer.
Palmer. What time was your case, Miss Palmer?
It was at 9:30, but I called and they told me to join anyway.
Okay. Would you like to speak with our in-house attorney?
Sure.
Okay, I'll put you in her waiting room, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, Miss Palmer. Go ahead and join the breakout room.
I have no idea how to do it.
Okay, I sent you a thing. Hold on a second. You got an invite to it, so go ahead and click on it. There should be, at the bottom, there should be something that says breakout room, and click on that. Touch your screen.
I don't see it. At the bottom?
I believe. Miss Booth, did you go in the breakout room waiting room?
I was trying to fix my mic and I was in the waiting room. But
And so it kicked you out. Go ahead and go back in. Touch your breakout rooms.
I was saying I didn't know what I was going in the breakout room for.
Because you're going to speak to the attorney.
Is that a prosecutor or?
Nope, that is the attorney who's going to represent you.
Okay.
Okay, so just go back in the breakout room.
Okay.
Ms. Palmer, just look for you should have it on your phone. It should say breakout rooms. Touch your screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it should show you an option for breakout rooms.
Mine's Devon.
Try it again. I just moved you again. Go ahead. It should send you a request. There you go. Judge, I think everybody that needs to, Mr. Terry, did you already speak with Ms. Greer?
Yes.
Okay, you're all good. Then just go ahead and mute yourself again. Judge, I think everybody who needs to speak to her is in the waiting room now.
Was there anyone that waived court-appointed attorney?
No, they're all in there.
Hello.
Ms. Booth,
Hello?
did you speak to Ms. Greer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on.
Hello.
Okay.
I think all the breakout rooms just ended, Judge.
Yeah,
They
did.
did. And I do need to speak.
I just opened them all back up.
Thank you.
Did that grab everybody? Yeah. Sorry, Ms. Greer, who do you want to talk to?
The Belleville prosecutor.
Okay, and you, because you're a co-host, you could have you can grab him, but I'll move you.
Okay, I didn't know if he was still there or not. That's why I didn't go
Yeah.
in there.
No, he's
Okay.
here. He's in, Mr. Nolan, you can rejoin number 9 and Ms. Greer just jump into his number 9.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you. Number 9.
Hello.
Yes.
May someone transfer me to Miss Greer's waiting room?
I got
'Cause
it.
I don't know how to do that.
Was there an attorney that appeared for Delilah Investments?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor. I haven't heard from anyone, and I don't believe the person who identified themselves on the telephone number has identified themselves as a lawyer.
No, that's why I called, or that's why I appeared today, because I was trying to request an adjournment since we were not able to obtain counsel.
We've had this conversation now on two previous hearings. This is 20R007499 A and B. These are City of Romulus versus the Lala J Investments. We've had this conversation now on the January 20th, 2022 hearing. The matter was scheduled for trial.
Right.
On 2/17/2022, the matter was scheduled for trial, and the court advised that a corporation had to be represented by an attorney. Ma'am, we have advised you a couple of different times, both myself and my secretary, myself on the record and my secretary when you've called in, that you may not represent them. We will not adjourn this matter again. Mr. Greco,
Yes, Your Honor.
any comments, sir?
None, Your Honor. I have my witnesses in the waiting room ready to go. I think my building inspector, Jim Wajenka, is ready to go. I mean, we're here and present and ready.
Could I please say something, or?
Ma'am, we've had this conversation before. I've indicated to you before that if you are not a licensed attorney, that you may not represent the corporation. You are not the registered agent. You are not an officer of the corporation. So from this court's perspective, a duly authorized person has failed to appear on behalf of the defendant this morning.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Ma'am, you are not a licensed attorney. We have had this conversation. This is the third time with me directly, and you've also had contact with other people in this courthouse who have advised you that you are not a licensed attorney. You may not appear for this corporation on the record. I've indicated to Mr. Greco that this matter was scheduled for trial this morning. The duly named defendant has failed to appear, has failed to send legal representation. Mr. Greco, how do you wish to proceed this morning?
Your Honor, I mean, it is a criminal matter, so it's not a civil matter. We can't enter, I don't believe we can enter a default. The only thing you could do is enter a warrant for the corporate name. I'm not sure. I mean, we're ready to proceed to the testimony for the court to, actually, Your Honor, with a criminal matter and a corporation, with a no-show, other than issuing a warrant, and I'm not sure what else to do, because it's not a civil matter, so I don't believe you can just enter a guilty verdict, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So what? Just so the court is aware, as the court is aware, also is that I'm newly appointed prosecutor for the city of Romulus. I have, and this is on the record, it's no problem, but I am going to be discussing with the city different options with regard to civil infraction rather than misdemeanor matters, because if they were civil infractions, which they can be written, we clearly could take action today with a default and orders from the court. Like I said, I don't think the court can enter a guilty plea for a no-show on a criminal misdemeanor matter. So,
are you asking to continue this matter, or are you looking to dismiss and refile it as a civil infraction?
Your Honor, if I may have a moment, because my client and I are figuring each other out. I'd like to speak with them for a moment and then come back and explain to them what I want to do before
Understood.
Okay. Thanks so much,
You're
Your
still
Honor.
showing as a co-host, so if you want to take your clients back into your breakout room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back in there because they're there. I'll go meet with them and I'll be back, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right.
Ms. Mutchler?
Yes,
Did you speak with Ms. Greer?
I did.
Is she going to provide you assistance this morning for purposes of your arraignment?
I assume that she is on the same page, that she feels that she already did assist me, but she won't be assisting me here in the courtroom now.
This is 22BL00075 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Carly Muchler. Ma'am, state your name for the record.
Carly Muchler.
Ma'am, the court's a little confused. You spoke to Ms. Greer, but she's not going to represent you this morning for purposes of your arraignment and pretrial?
Yes, I'm also just as confused as you are of why she released me from her room and just sent me here to the courtroom, and now you're speaking to me.
She released you and said what, ma'am?
She said that I was going to be charged with being impaired while operating a vehicle, and then that was gonna be it. That's literally all she said.
You
I believe
discussed
she
the
may
plea with
be,
her.
I believe she may be meeting with another one of the
There was like-
defendants, so.
Yeah, there was like three
Mr.
other
Nolan,
people
give me
in the
one sec,
room.
ma'am. You discussed the plea with her and you indicated to her that you would accept the plea.
Yes.
What's probably happened, as Mr. Nolan was alluding, she sent you back here to queue up. She has probably 5 or 6 other people that she's speaking with. She'll come out and probably do all the pleas at the same time. So it's not that she's not going to be here with you this morning, it's that she has some other people she's speaking to, that's all.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. I just know that
No.
you started to speak to me. I thought I was in the middle of my trial. I had no idea what she had planned.
I'm only guessing because that's how things happen here. So,
okay.
But you came out, I wasn't confused. I thought you were confused. I thought maybe you had turned down her assistance and maybe retained private counsel, or you were proceeding on your own. I don't guess, and that's why I asked you. So if you sit tight when she comes back out, we have you queued up to have your case called and get you on your way.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Terry,
Yes.
same question. Did you speak to Ms. Greer?
Yes.
And are you waiting for her to come out to proceed in this case?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Abdul Latif. Oh, never mind. This is 22BL00078 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Carly Mutzler. Your appearances, please.
Sharon Greerpen on behalf of Ms. Musler, who's on the line.
Ma'am, state your name again for me, please.
Carly Muchler.
Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Ms. Greer, how are we proceeding?
We're going to waive the formal reading and stand mute to those charges, ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Ms. Muchler. And we do have a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
The terms?
The terms is that she will be pleading to operating while visibly impaired, and the operating while intoxicated, as well as the speeding charge, will be dismissed.
Ma'am, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. You had the opportunity to discuss this matter with Ms. Greer this morning, including the penalties you face and the rights you had available to you.
I did.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
I do.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
I have not.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
I am.
Ma'am, is it true that on December 20th, 2021, in the city of Belleville, you operated a vehicle while you were visibly impaired?
That is true.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Greer?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ma'am, the court will accept your plea of guilty to operating while visibly impaired. Will dismiss the operating while intoxicated. Inasmuch as this is your first appearance, there had not previously been bond in this matter. The court's going to set your bond at $5,000 personal. This next step in these proceedings is that the matter will be referred to probation for interview, sentence recommendation, and they are the ones that will actually schedule your sentencing date with this court. The speeding ticket, as agreed, will be dismissed. I do not see a phone number or email address on record for Ms. Mutzler. Ma'am, do you know how to go in the chat and put that information in?
I see a chat that is open to everyone.
There's a chat that you can chat just to Michelle Buckberry. Unless you want your phone number and email address sent out to the world, you want to put that information there. Or do you not see it?
I see yourself, I see a Withrow, and I see Sharon Greer.
She can put it in mine, Judge. I'll get it.
Thank you. Put it into Ms. Greer. The probation department's going to need that information in order to get in touch with you, okay?
Yes, and you said my email and my phone number?
Yes, ma'am. While you're doing that, we're going to move on to the next case. Anything else, Ms. Mutzler, before you put that information in?
No, thank you.
Thank you. This is 2201520M. This is City of Romulus versus Tariq Terry.
Sharon Greerpen on behalf of Mr. Terry, who's on the line as well.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Tyreek Terry.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Greer, how are we proceeding?
As to the arraignment, Your Honor, we will waive the formal reading and stand mute to those charges. We ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Mr. Terry. And Your Honor, we're going to ask this court for a pretrial date. The other defendant has a pretrial date of 4/7 before Judge Green at 10:50. And we would ask the court if we could get something very similar to that.
Michelle will check to see if there's still space available on that day, and the interim bond will be set at 1,000 personal. Mr. Terry, you don't need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at all future court dates.
Okay.
We can just add it there. That's fine.
April the 7th at 10:50 a.m. Number 3 with Judge Green. Mr. Terry, you have some outstanding matters with this court. You owe the court $1,489 on some unrelated matters. Let me see. You've been behind on the payment plan since April 1st, 2021. You have an outstanding warrant on threats. You have a show cause scheduled for April the 4th on a driving without a cycle endorsement. You can go on, you should contact the court to start making your payments again on these other matters, okay?
Okay.
April
Honor,
7th with Judge Green. Yep.
I'm sorry. For my clarification, is this a Romulus matter?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Terry, you're all set, sir.
Okay, thank you.
This is 1852020OT and 18B001914A. These are City of Belleville versus Darnell Foster.
And Sharon Greerprint on behalf of Mr. Foster, Your Honor, who's on the line at this time. We will
Foster,
wait.
state your name.
Darnell Foster.
Your Honor, we will waive the formal reading and stand mute to the charges. We ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Mr. Foster at this time, and we do have a negotiated plea.
Its terms, ma'am.
The terms are, I'm coming right back, Judge. I was just,
I can indicate the terms.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Terms are plea guilty to an amended charge of allowing an unlicensed driver, as well as double parking with a $300 fine. And then in turn, the original driving while license suspended and the misdemeanor registration plate violation charges will be dismissed.
Mr. Foster, are you able to turn your video on for me, please, sir? Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Sir, you had the opportunity to meet with Ms. Greer this morning to discuss the charges against you as well as the offer from the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, it's your understanding and agreement that you will tender a plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and responsible for double parking.
Yes.
Understanding that the original charges will be dismissed in these matters.
Yes.
So you understand that if the court accepts your pleas this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind. You won't have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to enter pleas in these matters?
No.
Sir, is it true that on December 21st, 2018, in the city of Belleville, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes.
Sir, is it also true on that day, December 21st, 2018, in the city of Belleville, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Nolan?
I am, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Greer?
Satisfied,
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Mr. Foster, the court accepts your pleas in these matters. As for the registration or plate violation, the A file. The
Yes.
court accepts your plea of responsible to double parking. We'll dismiss the misdemeanor. As indicated previously, there is a $300 fine for that double parking, and there is a clearance fee of $45 that the court cannot waive. That's $345. For the driving while license suspended that's been dismissed with your plea of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive, the court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee, $50 bench warrant fee, $45 late fee, $45 clearance fee, that's $440. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay these two totals?
Yes.
You're going to go into the collections department. They're going to go into their waiting room right now. There will be somebody there to set you on the payment plan that will cover both of these matters, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Foster. Good luck to you.
Judge,
Thank
can
you.
you make me a co-host again so I can do that? I was kicked out for some reason. Thank you.
Done. Thank you, ma'am. This is 21BL00904 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Peyton Booth. May I have your appearance, please?
Sharon Greer appearing on behalf of Miss Booth, Your Honor, who's on the line as well.
Ms. Booth, state your name for the record, ma'am.
Peyton Booth.
Today's the day time set for the arraignment pre-trial in this matter. Ms. Greer, how are we proceeding?
We'd ask the court we would waive the formal reading and ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for Ms. Booth as she is standing mute to those charges. And we do have a negotiated plea.
And that would be?
That would be, Judge.
Mr. Nolan?
According to my notes, it would be allowing an unlicensed driver in double parking with $300 fine, in turn dismiss the driving while license suspended, the speeding charge, as well as the no proof of insurance.
Ms. Booth, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. You had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Ms. Greer?
No.
No, you haven't talked to her this morning?
That would be me, Miss
I mean,
Booth.
I went into the waiting room, but as far as discussing anything, I'm going in here blindsided.
Okay, Judge, if we could go to the other ones, I will.
Absolutely.
I've never talked to her before, so it's not like I've agreed to anything.
Miss Booth, that's fine. What happens is you were queued up to talk to her, and when I look at the list, I just called down in order.
She just told me to come back to the waiting room, and when I was trying to talk to her, she told me I should be in the courtroom.
Maybe there was a miscommunication, Ms. Booth. Let me do these other two files that are ready, and then you'll go in and talk to Ms. Greer, okay?
Okay.
Yes, Judge, definitely a miscommunication on our part.
Are we ready on Bobbitt?
Bobbitt. Your Honor, may I say that Ms. Claiborne is on the phone, and so she is still in my waiting room, as well as Mr. Ortiz is still in the waiting room. He says he gets kicked off every time.
Does he need me? I can bring them back.
Thank you. And I'm ready on Ms. Palmer.
Where is Miss Palmer? Do we lose her? Let me see. There's two iPhones, so maybe these two are. One of them are.
I'm an iPhone.
Mr. No, Mr. Ortiz, I see you.
Okay.
I'm an
Ms. Greer,
iPhone
had you
as well.
spoken to Mr. Ortiz?
Yes, I have, Judge.
This is 2201320M. This is City of Romulus versus Justin Andrew Ortiz. May I have your appearances, please?
Sharon Greer on behalf of Mr. Ortiz.
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Your Honor, as to the arraignment.
Justin Ortiz.
Ma'am. Thank you.
As to the arraignment, Your Honor, we would waive the formal reading, stand mute to the charges, ask the court to enter a non-guilty plea for Mr. Ortiz. And we are asking the court to set a pretrial date with discovery requested.
There's a request from City of Romulus Police Department that Mr. Ortiz be placed on a cash bond. The court will deviate from that in as much as he has appeared this morning on time and prepared to proceed. Bond in this matter will be set at $5,000 personal. Mr. Ortiz, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is appear at all future court dates.
Okay.
Make a notation in the file that discovery has been requested and the pretrial date in this matter will be
April 21st at 9:40.
April 21st at 9:40 a.m. That will be in number 3 with Judge Green. Anything else in this matter, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortiz, we'll see you back here on April 21st, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Hey, you too, Miss Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Judge. This is 220128. This is City of Romulus versus Shannon Palmer.
It's Shannon. It's spelled wrong.
Sharon Greer, pen on behalf of Ms. Shannon Palmer. Ms. Palmer.
Ma'am, how are we proceeding for arraignment?
As to the arraignment, Your Honor, we would waive the formal reading, stand mute, ask the court to enter a non-guilty plea, and there is a negotiated plea for Ms. Palmer that she's going to accept.
Ms. Palmer?
Yes.
She will be pleading guilty, Your Honor, to assault and battery pursuant to 771.1 for 6 months, and the disorderly person would be dismissed.
Ms. Palmer, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear a firm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ma'am, you had the opportunity to discuss your case this morning with Ms. Greer, including the charges against you and the penalties you face.
Yes.
And ma'am, you wish to enter a plea this morning of guilty to assault and battery, understanding that the disorderly person would be dismissed.
Yes.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or stand cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Ma'am, is it true that on December 16, 2021, in the city of Romulus, you committed the act of assault and battery?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Greco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Ms. Greer?
Satisfied.
Ms. Palmer, the court accepts your plea of guilty to assault and battery and will dismiss the disorderly person charge. Since this matter will be deferred for a period of 6 months, this court will impose costs on you in the amount of $300. Ma'am, are you able to pay that amount within the next 5 days?
Yes.
Ma'am, you'll be able to either go online and pay, you can mail it to the court, or you can bring it to the court. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
Nothing from Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Palmer, we're all set, ma'am. Have a good afternoon. Thank you for your patience this morning. Are you ready to go in with Peyton Booth?
Your Honor, we have Miss Claiborne. That's on the phone.
Ms. Claiborne?
Good morning. Well, good midday. How are you?
220125 City of Romulus versus Celestine Claiborne. May I have your appearances, please?
It's
Your Honor,
Claiborne.
David Greco here on behalf of the city of Romulus.
And Sharon Greer on behalf of Ms. Claiborne, and she's indicating her name is spelled incorrectly on all of the forms. Your Honor, we would waive the formal reading and stand mute to the charges, ask the court to enter a not guilty plea for her at this time. And Your Honor, we're asking for a pretrial with discovery.
The police department has a bond recommendation for 10,000, 10%. Ms. Greer, your comments as to bond in this matter?
Your Honor, since Ms. Claiborne has appeared today, we're asking that the court would set a personal bond for her She appears to have some defenses to this matter, and we anticipate it being resolved very quickly.
Bond in this matter will be set at 5,000 personal. The condition of bond is that Ms. Claiborne has no contact with Ms. Ruby Markham. Discovery requested, and the pretrial date will be.
Judge, I can't tell. Is it a Romulus or Belleville?
It's a Romulus case, ma'am.
Thank you. Sorry, I can't tell from the docket. It's April 21st at 9:50.
April 21st, 9:50
April-
a.m. Number 3
April
with Judge
21st.
Green. Notice will be mailed to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
You as well. Thank you so very much.
You're so very welcome. Is
Thank
that
you, Ms.
it?
Greer.
Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Okay, bye-bye.
Belleville prosecutor, Mr. Nolan, could you give me that offer for Miss Booth once again? I don't think that I talked to her, actually.
It was allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and then a double parking with $300 fine, dismiss the DWLS, as well as the speeding citation and that for no proof of insurance.
Got it. Okay, I will speak with her briefly.
Mr. Greco, you've had the opportunity to speak to your client. What are we doing in Delilah?
Your Honor, at this point in time, we're going to dismiss the misdemeanor charges and we're going to take a different approach to this property.
Thank you, Mr. Greco.
Thank you.
To the gentleman in the black t-shirt, your name, please.
Darian Taylor. Darian Taylor.
Mr. Taylor. Sir, were you looking to speak to the court-appointed attorney this morning?
I'm actually trying to see, okay, this is something that just popped up on me, and then I'm late to the Zoom because the Zoom, after bonding out, that gave me a different ID number, so I had to call the court and get the correct. I would have been on a time ago, but I'm sorry that I'm late too.
Don't apologize for being late. You can answer my question. I'd appreciate it. Were you looking to speak to the court-appointed attorney this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, she's in with somebody else. Sit tight. She'll be back out shortly.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Michelle, is that it?
It should be.
No, no one else is coming in. Our docket started at 9 o'clock. Our last case was scheduled at 11. If anybody
Yeah.
else comes through late, anything
Okay.
else that's not been checked in is going to be deemed either in default or subject to show cause or bench warrant. I'll do those as I have downtime available. I have the Delilah that I'm dismissing right now, Booth, Bobbitt, Taylor. That's all I have outstanding. Ms. Mutzler is still here. I'm not sure
Oh,
if
wait.
she got her information to Ms. Greer.
Miss Muchler?
Hi, I did get my information to Miss Greer.
Okay.
Then you
We'll
may
get it,
leave,
then you're
ma'am.
all set.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
Okay, thank
I'll see
you.
you at your sentencing, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Greco, are they free to leave the people on the phone? On your
Yes,
bench
they're
trial?
here supposedly for Delilah Investments. Yes. If we could get their name, actually.
Yes, my name is Panina Metokaryu.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Panina Metokaryu, that's my name.
Just say your first name first. So, what is it?
Panina,
Kanina?
yes.
How do you spell that?
P-E-N-I-N-A, P as in Paul, E-N-I-N-A.
Okay, what's your last name?
Mitokariu, M-I-T-O-C-A-R-I-U.
M-I-T-O-C.
A-R-I-U.
A-R-I-U. And I apologize. You're going to have to spell your first name again. What is it? Starts with a C?
That's fine. P as in Paul.
Oh, P.
Yeah. E-E-N as in Nancy. I-N-A.
Oh, Penina Mitokariu.
That is correct.
All right. Thank you, Penina.
You're welcome.
All right. You're free to go.
This
All
is
right, thank you.
21BL00906A. This is City of Belleville versus Hazifa Abdul Latif. This matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial this morning at 10:30 a.m. It's now 12:34 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for the second time now. Bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. This is 220148OM. This is City of Romulus versus Mary Ellen Anderson. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:20 a.m. It is now 12:35 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. The matter will be set for show cause. This is 22BL00082A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Sharrell Brigham. These matters were scheduled for pre-hearing and arraignment pretrial at 10:10 a.m. It is now 12:36 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant had failed to appear. The matters will be set for show cause. Apologies, the misdemeanor B file will be set for show cause. The A file will be in default. This is 21BL00878A, City of Belleville versus Darren Van Court Brown. This matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 10:40 a.m. It's now 12:37 p.m. by the court's clock, this being the defendant's second failure to appear in this matter. Bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. This is 210781OM 21RP02423OT, City of Romulus versus Antonio Clark. These matters were scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 9 o'clock. It is now 12:38 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Bench warrant shall issue 5,010%. Was that? Oh, jeez.
Skank. Oop. Sorry, Judge. Sorry.
That salty St. Patrick's Day language, Miss Greer.
I'm so sorry, but
No, you're not, but it's okay. Was that enough
You're-
time with Ms. Booth?
wait a minute. I'm sorry that you heard it. I've had way more time than I needed with Ms. Booth. She wants another lawyer, and she actually needs another lawyer.
The fact that she sent me to how she handled me in the beginning, it already shows she's not in my best interest. And I would like a lawyer that's in my best interest.
Ms. Booth, do you have an attorney in mind?
The first court date I had it extended because I live in Georgia and I'm trying to figure out Michigan stuff. And I've been Googling Wayne County public defenders, but they said they wasn't accepting misdemeanors. So it's like I've been trying to figure out what's the number to get in contact with the defenders out there. And I didn't know that I was going to be appointed to her. And I understand she has a lot of cases on her docket, but it was like she wasn't tending to me or even listening to care.
Well, I dispute that. And I did apologize to Ms. Booth because she was absolutely correct that I didn't speak with her initially. So
it was the way
that's not, so she's already got her mind made up, Judge, and I just want to move forward with it. I don't want all of this on the record.
Ms. Booth, what I'll say to you is that we had a pretty heavy docket this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And the court calls the cases in the order in which I see them. And I remember the Georgia thing now, and we are assigned court-appointed attorneys. I don't pick them. They're just assigned to our courtroom for the day. And I consider when you come out of the breakout room or the waiting room that we're starting afresh. I'm not sure what happened with you and Ms. Greer. I don't want to know. My question to you is, did you have the opportunity to at least discuss with her the charges against you and the offer from the prosecutor?
I did.
Okay. And you don't wish to accept that offer at this time?
I'm not sure. So is there a way it could be a continuance so I can make sense of everything?
We will do that, ma'am. But what I want to do is at least get you arraigned because this is the second time you've appeared and I don't want to leave you with the matter not arraigned. So let's at least, for purposes of this morning, even if you don't want to proceed with Ms. Greer, what this court will do is have you stand mute to the charges against you and enter a not guilty plea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, which we did. I'm sorry. We did that when you were here before. Mr. Nolan, I'm sorry. I'm just dragging this case. We'll adjourn the matter again. Ms. Booth, I'm not sure who will be present at the next Zoom date.
As far as the judge?
No, it'll be with Judge Green. I'm not sure what court-appointed attorney will be on that docket.
Is there a way that you could give me the number to a public defenders out there? Because it's like really, I'm just doing.
Defense. And Michelle, do you know how to do that? Is there a way that we can look and see? Well,
I can tell you who, but I can't tell what if they switch with somebody. I can't guarantee that that's who it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we have Mr. Bitar and Miss Belcher.
And what's that next date? Are we on the 21st?
April 21st at 10:10.
So Ms. Booth, there's no guarantee that anything will be different when you come back on April the 21st. But if there's an offer from the prosecutor, you'll at least have the opportunity to speak to them about that offer, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Ms. Booth?
No, ma'am.
Have a good day. See you back here in April.
Well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Last case is Taylor.
Did you already speak with him, Sharon?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I see him in your waiting room.
Darian Taylor, he's in there.
Okay, I will go there. Okay, no problem.
Is this a Romulus case?
Yes, it is.
It is a Romulus case, Mr. Nolan.
Okay, and I think I'll take off then.
No, there's no leaving.
I've got a Michigan
Have a good
basketball game to catch.
Have a good afternoon, Mr. Nolan. It's good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone.
This is 195311 OM. This is City of Romulus versus Sony Cooper. Matter was scheduled for pretrial this morning at 10:50 a.m. It is now 12:45 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. It's her first failure to appear this morning. Matter will be set for show cause. This is 22BL00128 A and B. These are City of Belleville versus Ishmael Habib Alabed. Matters were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 11 a.m. It is now 12:45 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, show cause in misdemeanor, default in the civil infraction. This is 21RP03164OM. This is City of Romulus versus Teresa May Fick. This matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 9 a.m. It's now 12:46 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, second failure to appear in this matter. Bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. This is 22BL00040OT. This is City of Belleville versus Donald Foreman. This matter was scheduled for show cause arraignment pretrial at 10:20 a.m. It is now 12:47 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear for a second time in this matter, bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. This is 220136OD. This is City of Romulus versus Keith Allen Fox. This matter was scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:40 a.m. It's now 12:47 p.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be scheduled for show cause, set for show cause. This is 210691OM. This is City of Romulus versus Darian Lamont Taylor. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, David Greco here on behalf of the City of Romulus.
Sharon Greer appearing on behalf of Mr. Taylor, who is on the Zoom as well.
Mr. Taylor, state your name for me, please, sir.
Darian Lamont Taylor.
Thank you, sir. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment pretrial in this matter. Ms. Greer, how are we proceeding?
We are waiving the formal reading, standing mute, asking the court to enter a not guilty plea, and we're asking the court for a pretrial as well as discovery.
Pretrial will be
April 21st at 10 a.m.
April 21st at 10 a.m. in courtroom number 3 with Judge Green. There's a recommendation from Romulus Police Department that bond in this matter be set at 5,000, 10%. As much as Mr. Taylor has presented himself to court this morning, the court will deviate from that Bond will be set at 5,000 personal. Mr. Taylor, you do not need to post any money, but what you must do is appear on April 21st with Judge Green. Anything else, Mr. Greco?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Greer?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Taylor, we're all set in this matter. Back in court on April 21st with Judge Green, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Greco and Ms. Greer, all that is left are the balance of the failures to appear. You're welcome to hang around. I can't imagine why you would. Both have a great afternoon.
Take care, Judge.
Thank you. Thank
So
you
long,
so
Sharon.
much.
Take care.
Take care,
All right.
everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Michelle, same thing to you. I'll just be talking to myself. I can't imagine why you need to hang around unless you just like spending time with me.
Oh, awesome. No, I have a lot of work to do.